She just started this video. Literally just started. I wonder if this is done doing its thing. Is it just going to keep doing this all day long? Really just wanted to turn on my gate, but I guess I can't do that. Oh well. Hello! Anybody know that song? Come on. Y'all gotta know that song, right? Alright, finally I got it. Now I can get the gate on there. There we go. That's so much better, isn't it? And I can get my drive. Might as well get it all on there. Is it supposed to hit right there? I have the gate after the drive. Is that... Candace just started her show, too, so I'm gonna let it kind of go a little bit. I'll just talk with you guys, see how y'all are doing. Hello, Pedro Pony. Hello, Jack. Hello, Ramza. Hello, Tadia's girl. Mr. Hello is, let's see, wait. Hello, Shadows. Hello, Sonder. Hello, Texas. It refreshed for me for some reason. Hello, Wombat. Hello, Gritchnitch. Hello, Drummer. Hello, Tanya. Let's see, Gazelle, Carrie. Love my Aussie. How's it going? Come on, anybody? Can anybody guess that song? Hangar 18. How's that one go? It's like, oh, what just happened? Ew, ew. What is that? What the drive did? What? That's not what the gate's doing, is it? What just happened? Where's my note? What was, let's see, Hangar 18, didn't it, like... No, how does it go? Da-da-da-da-da. I cannot think of the song after it progresses after that. No, dang it. Temu does an insane Hangar 18-esque, like, solo in the newest album. Thank God Temu is in the... Have you all listened to the newest Megadeth album? One of the greatest guitarists alive right now is in Megadeth. And he has the honor of at least being on their final album. He's the other guitarist for Winter Sun. Very, very much on par with Yari Mayampa. Yari Mayampa, in my opinion, has probably one of the most creative minds in metal in general. But, oh, it almost came to me. No. If I play it on stream, it gets demonetized instantly, so I can't do... Well, actually, I can just turn off my desktop audio. What's wrong with me? Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up here. Hangar 18. How does it go? It's like... It's, does this, so it's like... Oh, it's way higher. Like... Okay, so it's da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's, maybe it's... Something like that. Oh, I'll have to look. I could just probably look up the tabs and get it instantly. I'll give her a little bit of time. We'll find Hangar 18 real quick. Tab. Okay. I'm just going to do it. No, not the solo. I could... No. Let's just do intro. Just for the fun of it. Alright. No, not the solo. I have Guitar Pro, and yet finding stuff like this is just... What is... Is this a drum? What is this? So, oh, wait. So it's like... This is gonna be so wrong because I'm detuned so much. 4, 3, 1. So it's... Really? It's this? That's not right. Oh, wait, it'd be... Yeah, that would be right. Oh. That's not right. That sucks. That is not even close to correct. Even in proper tuning, absolutely not. That's so ridiculous. Whoever did that should be ashamed of themselves for even putting that on the internet. Are you kidding me? So of course this one's going, really? Oh, it just... Nope, not right. They're wrong. They're wrong again. That's, I'm pretty sure. Nope, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Never mind. I'm dumb. Then it's, Okay, so that's the proper fingering for that. Get your minds out of the gutter. Yeah. Okay. Out of the gutter. So then it's, So. Alrighty. So. Okay. Now what's the next part after that? Da-da-da. No. Alright, so it goes... Then the next part, I'm guessing... No, it wouldn't be that. I'm kind of guessing. Oh, it just straight up follows the chord pattern. No, it doesn't. Oh, it'd be 4. Oh, right. Diminished. Ah, nice. Then it goes 5, 3, 5. Oh, I like it. Okay. Okay, I like it. I like that. That's pretty neat. Like a ton of Helter Skelter by the Beatles. Oh man, Helter Skelter's a classic. Absolute classic there. So it goes from this like that's not right. How did I mess that up? Is it backwards? It is backward. Okay, so it's no, it'd be 6, so... No, it wouldn't. I don't like how sour that note is right there, though. Just kind of open, G. Well, it wouldn't be G for this. To me, it's, G, D. It's D. No, it's not. It's E flat? Ah, whatever. Rest in peace, Lucrezia. Lucrezia, like, from Final Fantasy VII, the group... Oh, wait. I don't know. Don't worry, we're getting to Candace. Don't worry. I'm not baiting you guys with this. I just got my XFX thing downloaded on this computer finally, so I can finally edit everything. I can't move. Oh, there we go. What cab? I have dual cabs. Let's see. I have the Modern Swamp and the DV77. Is that why it sounds funky? Really? It's gonna act like there's no cab? Ew. Ew, it allows a line to come through. Ew, can I, like, not? No? How do I if I deactivate this, why doesn't it clear the path? It just allows me to bypass the cab. That's disgusting. Really? Wow, what a silly thing to have happen. So that's why it's like... I don't mind it, but I want to get rid of that grit. Can I not, like... Can I do that? That's better. That's a lot better. This is not clickbait. Everybody thought it was at first. So check this out. She is getting sued by Brian Harpole, and she has now admitted it. I'm sure since she's the recipient of the lawsuit, yeah, it's happening. I mean, unless Candace is clickbaiting, right? But that's on Candace, not me. So there we go. Yeah. Anyway, did anybody guess that song at the beginning there? Just curious that. Oh. Anybody? Come on. All right. We probably allowed Candace Owens to go on long enough, so I'm sure I'm only about, gosh, I'm not that far behind her at all. Wow. Right? How far behind am I? Wow, I'm still not, well, no, that's not possible. That's not possible. I'm only a minute behind. I'll go ahead and I'll refresh. Okay, I'm about 10 minutes behind. All right, that's good enough. Okay. Good enough, right? Wow, she's in a good mood today. She's like, yay, this means I get discovery. Candace, do you think they don't know that? Do you genuinely... This is what she's going to do, too. She's going to end up getting early access. She's going to post all of it. And she's going to be like, see, I'm going to fit these pieces to actually work in my favor. But it's going to be bad when it ends. I can tell you that. Well, let's see. Evening, everybody. How's everyone doing? And thank you all so much for being here, by the way. 67 juggle dance for her. Yeah. All right. I'll tell you guys. The song is called Love by, well, Strappy Young Lad is the proper name, but Devin Townsend. Everybody in here should at least give one Devin Townsend song. If I could start anybody on a Devin Townsend song, yeah, no, it's not that 7mm. No, sir. No. I could learn that song if I wanted. It's not crazy. Some good old Cannibal Corpse, man. Just think, a band like that isn't even edgy by today's standards at all. In fact, they're technically kind of cringe these days when it comes to metal. I love Cannibal Corpse, don't get me wrong. I absolutely do. I'm just saying by today's standards, Cannibal Corpse is a dad rock band, essentially. That's how old they are now. Isn't that crazy to think about? That's what Cannibal Corpse is pretty much considered these days, is like a dad rock band. And that's just crazy. We're getting old. All of us are getting old, you know? You don't know who's strapping? You don't know who Devin Townsend is, guys? Oof. All right. For all you hardcore metal fans, I'd recommend you just check out Love by Strapping Young Lad. You guys will like it. Or, man, some of his more beautiful music. But I don't know. Check out just Devin Townsend. No. All you metal fans, I've got a completely different thing for you. Check out Devin Townsend, Z1, or Ziltoid, and Z2. The second part to Ziltoid. Now, you will find a very much pop album that is attached to Z2. That is the B side of Z2. If it sounds poppy and nice and very chill music, it's the B half of it. For everybody else, I recommend you all type in the song Why by Devin Townsend. Everybody here will love it. It's not exactly the metal you would think it is. It's very, very poppy. It's very orchestrated. You guys will genuinely, insanely love it. It is such a wonderful song. Wonderful song. Even people in their 70s would enjoy the song. I could tell you that. It's not the kind of music you think it would be. But his vocals are so, his vocals are incredible. I don't think I've ever heard a vocalist quite this accurate and incredible in vocal control. It's insane. Yeah, Devin Townsend is not only a great player, he's one of the greatest guitarists out there as well. His guitar skills are unbelievable, you know? Nice, White Zombie. Yeah, if you like White Zombie and stuff like that, you're gonna love Strappy Young Lad. So Strappy Young Lad had the guy from Death Angel. He's the drummer. He's also in Death Clock. You know, Metalocalypse. His name's Gene, he's known as the Atomic Clock because he's so good at timing. Like, his time is perfect. He's not like a crazy, insane, he's a crazy, insane drummer. How would I put it? He's not like the dude who goes around and drums with one hand and is can hit every single note exactly, but his ability to keep time is what's insane. Gene Hogland. Gene Hogland is his name. That's it. I knew it'd come to me. Gene Hogland is just a legend. Oh, yeah, and, okay. Quentin just said it. Good job. Yeah, Gene Hogland. Yeah, you got it. Deadhead. No. Deadhead live at the amphitheater. That is peak Devin Townsend. Kingdom. Yeah, most people would like Kingdom. Kingdom is that's his, what album is that off of? Epic Cloud. Epic Cloud is his, gospel album. Literally. He wanted to do, he liked the gospel music quite a bit. He does everything. He even has a CCR album. What's his CCR album? Cool something. Devin Townsend. Cool. Casualties of Cool. If you guys like CCR, you will love his Casualties of Cool album. It's pretty much just an homage to CCR. The dude loves kind of gospel-y music and stuff. Even though I don't know that he's Christian per se. He just likes all types of music, and he has this Epic Cloud album. Very gospel-y orchestrations and choirs and stuff like that. Kingdom, you guys will love. It is a beautiful, beautiful album. Probably some of the older people would like Devin Townsend is a very, very, very good song as well. That's off of his, Project Something album, or, what is that album? It's got the 3 pencils on it. What is it called? Oh, gosh, I'll look it up here. What is, a lot of songs on that album, though, you wouldn't, Addicted, that's what it is. A lot of the songs you guys won't like if you're not into metal, but you guys will love. Also, on that album, he does a Ziltoid cover. He has a girl cover his vocals on it. What song is that? Hyperdrive. Hyperdrive is you guys will love that song too. So yeah. Yeah, I love CCR, yeah. Devin Townsend's a crazy guy. He was discovered by Steve Vai, and I think it was on his, what album was Devin Townsend on for Steve Vai? The crazy trippy one with his long hair. Man, I'm just going through all of the trivia today on metal music. Steve Vai, Passion and Warfare, I think it is, right? Steve Vai, Passion? Passion and Warfare. That's the album title I'm thinking of. Who sang? It was Nancy Fragan and Jim. Nope, it's not that. Okay, Steve Vai, okay, what album? I cannot type today. Steve Vai did Devin Townsend sing on? I thought it was Passion and Warfare. Oh, it was Sex and Religion. That's what it was. That album's good. I only think I know one song off of it, though. I don't think I've ever really checked it out. Let's see. So, No, I know a couple. In My Dreams with You, Still Bleeding, Still My Bleeding Heart, Section of Religion, Touching Tongues, great. But I do know that song. State of Grace, Survive, okay, I've heard those. I haven't listened to Pig, The Road to Mount Calvary, Deep Down into the Pain, Rescue Me or Bury Me. Wow, Here and Now, and Earth's... I didn't even know there were all these songs on this album. Wow. Okay. Yeah, there's a... Oh, Devin Townsend only sang on Pig. And I haven't listened to that one. Wow, I haven't listened to the one song that Devin Townsend did on Steve Vai. Wow. Good job, me. Amazing. So much for me being a super fan, I guess. Alrighty. You guys ready for this Candace Owens stuff? Love 70s rock mostly. Oh, man, 70s rock's fantastic. Fantastic. I love 70s rock, dude. Don't even get me started. I mean, Richie Blackmore. That's like one of my main dudes for the most part. Like, I love Richie Blackmore's music. I hate how he kind of... oh, you haven't missed anything yet. I haven't started this yet, so you're good, Scar. Demon Hunter's good. I don't mind them at all. I saw them open up for Children of Bodom. When was that? Oh, man. That's like almost a hole in my memory. Wow. I think it was at the Brady Theater in 2014? 2014, 2013, maybe? Yeah. Christian rock bands, they're cool too. Absolutely. Man, there's a lot of Christian metal out there that's come out that I'm just blown away by. They got away from like just simply saying praise God and stuff like that and actually telling stories in the Bible, which is way cooler than a lot of the gossipy music that the older gossipy music in my opinion. I love hearing stories from the Bible told in a very orchestrated musical way. Instead of it just being the typical normal, like, God is good, God is great stuff, which is good too, don't get me wrong, especially when choirs can do it right and actually harmonize. You know what I mean? But when you actually get to the storytelling, that's what's really, really sick. You know what I mean? That's a great way to do it, you know? Impending Doom, yeah, exactly. So, that's some cool stuff. Who else? It's funny. Powerwolf actually does a really good job, even though they're not a Christian band. They do a good job of telling some Christian stories too. Now, they don't do the stories out of the Bible. They mainly do stories of like the Crusades and stuff like that. Kind of like Sabaton as well. Great bands. They like to go over history, but those bands are like historical bands. You know what I mean? They do like World War II. They do everyone here should listen to the Christmas truce. What is it called? The Armistice. What is the song called by Sabaton? It is crazy good. It is Armistice. What song was that? Song. What is it? That's not the right song. It's just called the Christmas Truce. And it starts off, of course, like this. I'll play a little bit for you guys. Starts off with this. And then, of course, it goes into this part. I'll show you this part here just for a second because I will get copyright stricken. We're all brothers tonight, we're all friends. That's all I can show you. I'm not going to play any more than that. But it is such an insane, and the music video is awesome because it's all World War I. Two side, I think is it Germany and the UK? I think, or is it Germany and France? I can't remember. But they come out and they celebrate Christmas together in the trenches and stuff during the ceasefire. It's a crazy, crazy good music video. You guys would love it. For sure. It's just awesome. All right, guys, let's jump into Candace Owens. I've left y'all waiting long enough.
Guys, man, oh man, so much to unpack today. First and foremost, I woke up this morning and I was highly upset. I had a little bit of a yesterday news hangover. I realized that I'm actually so not okay with what Erica Kirk did.
Yes, it was actually the first World War XI. So, yeah. So wait until Ilhan Omar finds out about World War 22. That's gonna blow her mind. World War 11. What a great video. With blood comes cleansing. Is that the band or is it a song? Let's see, Scampty phone. Yeah, exactly.
On my back by wrongly asserting that I accused her of murdering her husband. I don't think we can let that fly.
Why? You have wrongly accused her of murdering her husband. You called her a Black Widow. You said she should write a book like O.J. Simpson. You said that she killed her husband in a text message. There are so many different instances. You said Erica Kirk betrayed Charlie Kirk. You said Erica Kirk was at Fort Huachuca planning his murder behind his back. Like, what kind of stupidity are you trying to play with this, Candace? Now you're trying to backtrack. You are trying so hard to backtrack. And I'm not going to let that fly, Candace. Here's what I'm going to do, okay? Tomorrow, because I was going to go through, I slept most of the day. I felt terrible. I feel so much better now. This had to be COVID or something, but for real, I am going to gather every single time she has falsely accused Erica Kirk, and I will show that in a video probably tomorrow. I'm going to try and get it all done. That's, I think, going to be my goal, because I got to go to work tomorrow. I had to push off work because of my sickness, so now I'm going to have to work a little bit extra this week, which is always great. It happens. But anyway, yeah, it's just one of those things that I got to really get on it. So here we go. Oh, I appreciate it, Scar. She knows that lawsuits are coming, yeah. Oh, she's screwed. She's screwed. As if they're sitting here making these claims, and they're starting to sue her, and she thinks that they're just going to have nothing, for real. Yeah, I hope Candace has made her bed well, because she's getting ready to sleep in it, probably for the rest of her life. This is what she's going to be known for. She has tried so hard to walk back that she claimed Erica Kirk killed her husband. And it's not going to work, lady.
Right? No, her punishment is going to be more truth. I always say she is sentenced to more truth, and I have been keeping a little secret, and it's time for me to reveal it.
Oh, really?
Also, I am getting the sense that there is something happening, something big happening. It feels like people are upping the crazy a little bit.
You,
something is coming undone in the background. And on that note, the big news of the day is guess who crawled from under his rock, apparently, and sent me a full-blown lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yes. Brian Harpole. Ladies and gentlemen,
crazy.
I believe that would grant me, your girl, the power of subpoena. Let's get started. Welcome back to Candace.
And what do you think you're going to subpoena? Because he's going to be claiming that he was never at Fort Huachuca. And if there are no records that they're going to be able to find, even if he was there, if there are no records, you realize you can't get it. So she's not really thinking with her head on this one.
Charlotte Airport, about to board my flight to Italy last week, and I received an email. Me and my lawyers received an email. It was randomly sent to us. It was something like a retraction demand, but it wasn't actually a retraction demand because his lawyer, Brian Harpole's lawyer, asserted at the top right away.
Let's see. Don't forget about the woman who was found guilty in Utah, and Candace said, what about Erica Matt? I'll have to look into that one. I do know she also said that Erica Kirk needs dragged off to a police precinct. I mean, what else does that mean? But okay.
Way that they were already going to file the lawsuit no matter what in 4 days. This was kind of just a nice heads up that these are our claims that we will be making. What? How curious. What do you mean? This is, you never communicated with me, you never spoke, you never issued any sort of retraction demand, you never.
They don't have to. If you lie about somebody, especially knowingly, or if you present information without any evidence whatsoever, they could sue you for it. They don't have to go by any way that you think they have to go by. Anybody could sue you for any reason whatsoever. And especially if it's a reasonable lawsuit. You may not think it's a reasonable lawsuit because you don't think, but that's fine, Candace.
Answered me when I reached out. This is not at all how it normally goes. I mean,
who cares?
I'm pretty accustomed to how lawsuits work. In fact, I can tell you that's never gone like this, ever.
Yeah, it has. For you.
You send, hey, that's what you said is not right. Retract it, or else I am going to sue you. Brian Harpole did no such thing.
Okay.
And? Okay. So before I tell you why I believe he is doing this,
have to.
And again, this is my opinion.
Oh, now we're going to get to her
very curious strategy. I'm going to at first take you through some of the highlights of the demand, which was poorly organized, but it is really just kind of summarizes the actual lawsuit, which he has now filed. In other words, I want you to understand he had the lawsuit prepared first before he sent me this notification type demand, okay?
If you had made good on the demands, he probably would have dropped the suit. Yeah, of course he was prepared. So, man, she's really just taking this one hard. Anyway.
Pardon me. I also want to mention, because it feels important, that Brian Harpole is using the same lawyer the Daily Wire used to sue me in arbitration for...
What lawyer are you using now, though, Candace? You're using the same lawyer as Trump, who is a Zionist. So, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't bring that up if I were you. Who cares what lawyers y'all are using at this point? You really did a bad thing there, Candace. You made everyone believe Zionists were bad, and then you started paying one to defend you in court, and now he dropped you. So I wonder what lawyer you're using now.
2 years straight. I'm not going
I could probably find
name
out.
the firm, even though the lawyer is publicly tweeting and also has a YouTube channel, so it's not hard to find. But I will just say that's another coincidence. I'm very tired of this guy altogether, mostly because he speaks like he's consumed helium. Anyway, let's get into Brian Harpole's stated grievances, okay? First up, he wants to sue me. He's suing me for maligning him when I suggested, when I stated that not having an ambulance on standby is inappropriate. It's wrong.
You stated that having an ambulance on standby is wrong?
I'm not kidding. This is what was written. It reads,
all right.
In your podcast episode titled, Why is Everyone Crashing Out Over the Charlie Kirk Investigation? You maligned Kirk's security team, including Mr. Harpole, by stating, quote, in real life, when you spend millions of dollars on security, on your security detail, they don't have you sitting like a duck and forget to have an ambulance behind you. This statement not only incorrectly calls into question the competence of Mr. Harpole and his team, but it defames Mr. Harpole by falsely accusing him and his team of criminal negligence by failing to render aid to Kirk after he was shot. Okay.
I agree with that. First of all, they are not required by any law to have an ambulance there. And second of all, they can refuse service to a technical degree. It depends on what the college is actually requiring.
So competence is a matter of opinion, Brian. I don't believe you can sue people for thinking that you're stupid or that you're ugly or that you're...
No, but you made a matter-of-fact statement that they did something wrong. You didn't just give an opinion. You said they messed this up. They screwed up. They should have done this. But now you're going back and saying it's an opinion. Okay. Well, you made a matter-of-fact statement. You didn't say, in my opinion, they should have had an ambulance there. You said they should have had an ambulance there. They're a little bit different.
Fact, I don't believe I can sue Trump for thinking Brigitte is the most beautiful woman in the world.
Oh, she's still on this.
Close, as he says. I don't think I can sue Trump for making...
You all want to know how sad this is when it comes to her looks and stuff? Check this out, okay? I'll go to Candace Owens' channel here. Look at this. It's every single time she brings up Donald Trump brings up her looks. Look at this, from 1 minute and 40 seconds, okay? All the way to 18 minutes even, okay? 17 minutes, 57 seconds, okay? That is literally 17 minutes straight of talking about Donald Trump insulting her looks, more or less. That is way shorter than this from right here, from 18 minutes to 28 minutes. That's only 10 minutes on the Laura Loomer stuff. Then from 28 minutes, 30 seconds, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, to the end of it is 37 minutes. So that is literally 9 minutes on this. From this one, which is her second longest one, I think, 37 minutes to 51 minutes. I'm not going to be able to do the math on that off the top of my head, but you all get it. You can see that literally from here to here, it's shorter, and from here to here. The longest amount of time she spends all the way from here to here is on her looks. She did the same thing last time, too. If you go to her live stream. So from this one right here, when Trump says that, I think it's this one, right?
However...
Stop. Let's see. Was it this one? Or he's going to do... Oh, no. It was the one before this. This one here, 2 weeks.
Almost.
It is Cabot in the Wild. Okay, donors reach out. Was it not this one? Was it 3 days before? Okay, so hold on. Was it really that long ago?
Right. So
Let's see. Victor Marks, okay, no, man, it was a little bit more before that. I have missed a few. Or not missed a few, it's just my memory at this point. No show, ATF, Trump, open letter to Donald Trump. Oh, maybe it's this right here? Let's see. Maybe it is this one here. I think it would be this one, right?
But this is my new favorite.
Okay. Trump's social post. Here it is. Here it is. She spends more time talking about her looks when Donald Trump insulted her looks. Look at how long this bar is right here, okay? Tiny bar, medium bar, tiny bar, and then her comments. So she spends actually a little bit more time on her comments and merch than she does addressing Trump, but that doesn't count. Every other subject she talked about, I'll move myself here, just so you guys could see that I'm not making this up. Small, then comments. Then I bring it over here. Look at how long she spent getting mad at Trump that he called her not as pretty as Brigitte Macron. He said Brigitte Macron is prettier than Candace. She spent more time on that than any other subject in her video. You go back to her second to newest video.
To hide money.
She spends more time on the subject when Trump uploads an ugly picture of her than any other topic on her entire show. This goes to show how narcissistic Candace Owens is. So, there you go. That is absolutely insane. How could you not just simply write off the insult, Candace? How could you not just be like, oh, well, you know what? Fine. Trump thinks she's pretty or whatever. That's his prerogative. If he likes men, she could have literally just won the argument easily by going, well, if he likes women with wieners, then that's on him. Hope Melania doesn't have one. And then move on. That's all Candace had to do. And instead, she literally spends 18 minutes upset because Trump posted this little icky picture of her. Literally. She is so upset by this. Isn't that absolutely awesome? Donald Trump really does know how to troll people and waste their time. It is the best gift Donald Trump has, and I wish I had it myself. What an unbelievable, amazing president we have, that he can make people crash out so easily. He knows exactly what bothers people. Isn't that awesome? Wait. Tunichi Trump? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but yeah, thank you for the 5. Does anyone else get so angry with this woman that sometimes they have to actively avoid anything having to do with her? Oh, yeah. 100%. There are plenty of times I take a long break from Candace Owens, and it's going to be tonight. I'm going to be hanging out with my guitar, and then after that, also with my kids and the wife. That's one of the best ways is the kids, for sure. Hanging out with my kids is just so much fun all the time. So there is that, but also just sitting down, playing guitar, and just tuning the whole world out. When I do that, wife usually goes to sleep a little earlier than me, so I'll crack on these headphones here and silently play, and just everything just fades into awesomeness. You know what I mean? So that's what I do to get all the Candace Owens stuff out of my head. It's fun. A lot of fun. Thank you so much for that super chat, by the way. Tunchi Trump? Tunchi? I'm sorry. I'm sure you'll tell me how to pronounce that name. I got it the first time. Tunchi. Okay, yeah. Sweet. I did see it there. Awesome. Tunchi Trump. Sometimes I get it right. Sometimes I butcher it badly, so I'm sorry if I ever butcher your names, guys. I will try, and I will look in chat to make sure that you correct me, that you correct me the right way and berate me a little bit, because I deserve it.
That he views me as someone that is low IQ. So I don't know that competence is really a claim. Also, I would argue that it is almost a matter of fact that a security team that is paid many millions of dollars annually should have had an ambulance on standby at an event, especially when it was a part of their normal repertoire to do so.
And what if there wasn't one available for that day? What if they couldn't spare it because there was too much activity going on? Who knows? Candace, you're speaking for the taxpayer. You realize that, right? You're like, oh, They are getting paid millions of dollars. Why couldn't they use taxpayer funds? Candace, that's a completely different pot. Just because they're paid millions of dollars doesn't mean that they can do that. Now, maybe if they were able to pay the ambulance service, maybe they can do that. I don't know if they can necessarily pay the ambulance service for a day to use one of those trucks. But at the same time, that's kind of not the point too, because if they're like, hey, look, we are taxpayer funded. Even though you may pay us a lot of money, that takes away from the taxpayer still. In case of an emergency, we cannot give you an ambulance today. We have no idea. I have no clue. You're going to have to take that up with the medic service that's in that town. I have no idea. It's not the security's responsibility to make sure that a taxpayer-funded vehicle is on site with them. Just putting it out there.
Everybody forgetting, I used to work for Turning Point USA. I'm fairly certain that probably at each and every one of my many
Probably, or are you certain that every single event had an ambulance there?
events that I have done with Turning Point USA, during a time period when Brian Harpole was always a member of the security team, we had an ambulance on standby. So that actually felt exceptional to me. It is not my opinion that, it is my opinion that not having one on standby.
Go back to that other opinion that you held there, Candace. It's not your opinion? You had to really pay attention to your words there, didn't you? I love it. I love how careful Candace is being.
Especially when the person that you are providing executive protection to texts you guys the night before and says, I think I'm going to be killed. It's my opinion.
You still have yet to provide any proof for that text.
It demonstrates professional incompetence not to have an ambulance on standby in case anything happens. Sorry, Brian. I most certainly did not accuse you of criminal.
Oh, what Candace means is they should have had an ambulance right there next to the vehicles to load Charlie in. That's what Candace is trying to say.
Negligence, that term did not come from this podcast. In fact, I hadn't even thought of that term until you put it all over a lawsuit. So we should just look that up and see what the definition is. I did. It says definition of criminal negligence is a reckless disregard for human life or a gross deviation from the standard of care that a reasonable person would observe, resulting in serious harm or death.
Yeah, and having an ambulance on standby does not meet that criteria whatsoever. Because your average person does not just have access to a private ambulance. What are you talking about?
Okay, unlike civil negligence, it is a crime prosecuted by the state, often leading to imprisonment, involuntary manslaughter charges, or major felonies. Okay, thank you for introducing us to that legal term, Brian.
You're welcome.
What
now
else
you
is
learned
Brian
something
upset about? Well, I would argue that the next point actually demonstrates incompetence, okay? Brian wants to sue me for something that I literally never said about him. Mind you, this was actually the very first point of the letter.
Really
It was
now?
dizzying. It reads, it is in your podcast episode titled Charlie's Angels or Demons, you implied that Charlie Kirk's security team, including Mr. Harpole, had insider knowledge about Kirk's assassination. Specifically, you questioned how the security team knew that Charlie Kirk was dead before official confirmation. The false and defamatory nature of this statement is obvious, as it implies that Mr. Harpole and his security team not only had foreknowledge of the assassination, but were also complicit in it. Want to know the truth?
Yeah,
In that
let's hear it.
particular episode, we never mentioned Brian Harpole or referred to him even once.
Really now? You never once ever mentioned anything about his security team? Because that's what he says. Charlie Kirk's security team. He never said Brian Harpole, Charlie's Angels or Demons. Let's see if you've never mentioned anything about his security team. We can find out, Candace. This will be fun for us. We'll do a little scavenger hunt with you. So let's do videos. It is October 27th. So Charlie's Angels or Demons. Let's find out. Whee! There we go. Okay, Charlie's Angels. Let's see, 7 months ago. Okay. Charlie's Angels or Demons. Which one's this going to be? Oh, I could just... Angels. Okay. I guess don't do it. Alright. Whatever. I didn't need your help anyway. Just... Oh, here it is. Right here. It didn't even take me up to it. All right, here we go.
And Charlie.
Oh, yeah, here's the fake picture she edited. Cool. And what? See, look at this. Look at Charlie's elbow. It's not even right. It's not even the way an elbow looks. Like, just so bad. Anyway, now we'll go to transcript. And then we're going to go to security. Okay, no security mention. Team. Okay. At my team, snap it across. Okay. Let's see. What did he specifically say so I can find keywords? Charlie's published October 27th, 2025. You implied that Charlie Kirk's security team, including Mr. Harpool. Well, let's see if she says Harpool. Harpool. Oh, okay. So it brings it up there. Maybe they got the episode wrong. It's a good possibility. It's going to be like 10,000 ways to say Brian. How is YouTube going to spell Brian? Nope. Brian. And is that going to be the only one? Oh, maybe then. Maybe she never does mention him in this video. I don't know. How did she... So she doesn't say security. Never mentioned security at all. I wish they would have put timestamps. That would have been nice. Okay. What else do they say? Had knowledge about Kirk's assassination. How did she phrase it so I could remember? Foreknowledge. Let's see. I just want to make sure it's... Because they could have gotten this episode wrong. Foreknowledge of the assassination, but we're also complicit. Does she mention anything about that? I don't think she ever mentioned anything about that in this video yet. This is a little early before she started doing... Okay. Really does not mention any security. That I said earlier that he had secured that footage. I think they may have gotten the wrong episode. I think they linked the wrong episode to this, to be honest. Let's see. What could she use? So, they wouldn't have been... Nope. Fort. I don't think she mentions anything about Fort Huachuca yet at this point. You know what? There is one word. Meeting. Based on your family's preferences, oh, this is an ad. That's the only time. So it wasn't secret meeting. No, I think they may have gotten the episode wrong. I think Brian Harpool may have linked the wrong episode. That kind of sucks for him. Let me see the chapters here. So we got start, Mikey McCoy, the camera guy, my text Charlie, and what he knew about his future. And then comments. This was Candace going on about her dreams and crap. I think they linked the wrong episode. That's very unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate. Yeah. Oh, well. Brian should have done his attorney should have done a lot better research on this. There's the camera guy selfie.
So I knew.
Why is it so loud?
That things were weird. When I saw first and foremost, the camera guy, the one who takes down the camera, seeing him lingering along up to a grassy knoll and maybe calling 911 towards him, or you run away like a split second, sees Charlie bleeding and runs, and doesn't run very far. He just runs a couple of yards away. Now
Maybe I could do like lead. Charlie bleeding and runs, doesn't run very far. Wait.
When Charlie gets shot.
Okay, she's talking about Mikey McCoy specifically there. My text with Charlie. Let's see. Iron Lady. Yeah. Nope. Brian's just wrong. He's wrong. I got to call it right there. Brian was wrong on that one. So, unfortunately, they linked the wrong episode on this. That's going to be... I think they could amend that. I think because of this episode, Brian should definitely check this part of the episode out. Yeah, I could ask Rock. I'll find out. Let's see. That's fine. Is there any part of Candace Owens' live stream Charlie's Angels or Demons, where she mentions Charlie Kirk's security team or Brian. Dang it. Harpole. I don't think she does, but we'll pull it up. Okay, let's keep watching.
We never mentioned Brian Harpole or referred to him even once. The episode, as it implies, is about specifically Charlie's chief of staff and Terrell Farnsworth, the head of the AV team. The specific quotation to which he's referring to is about Terrell Farnsworth, because it was Terrell Farnsworth who notoriously announced in a selfie video that Charlie Kirk was dead like 2 minutes after Charlie went down. So when no one could have possibly known Charlie was dead. Okay, my full quotation, which for some reason is not included.
I mean, look, when you see a man bleed out like that, in every single person, like I said, you know how I found out Charlie was dead? When my dad called me and we were talking about it a little bit, my dad flat out said, there's no way he survived that. Did you see that? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, and at the time, Tim Pool put out there that he had received word from somebody that Charlie was in stable condition, but they don't know what else. And that just wasn't even true. Charlie wasn't even in stable condition. Because my dad flat out told me, he goes, there's no way. Did you see the blood loss? He's not around. Like, it's just not possible. Here we go from Grok. No, there is no mention of Charlie Kirk's security team or Brian Harpole in Candace Owens' live stream podcast, Charlie's Angels or Demons. Disturbing footage emerges. Candace episode 252 streamed on October 7th, 2025. Yep, there's nothing. Zero references to Brian Harpole or anything. Yeah, he did mess that up. They need to absolutely find the correct episode and mention. Jan Crowder, thank you so much for that $2 donation. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank you for being here and watching, guys. Thank you guys so much. So, gotta give Candace a win here on that one. Brian didn't do his proper homework, or his attorney listed the wrong video. It's probably, if I had to guess, how I have a theory. I've got a theory here. That maybe they clicked the video beside what the proper video should have been. That's what I wonder what happened. I wonder if that's the case. So let's see here. Let's go, and I'll check both videos to see. I'll pull them both up. So where was that at? Demon? There we go. So I bet it's either here or here. And if it is, I understand how the mistake was made. So let's see if they mention Brian
you guys,
Harpole
happy
at all. Oh, God, that's so loud. It's so much louder after the video uploads. It's kind of wild how that works. I hate how YouTube does that. All right, so we'll check both transcripts. If that's not the case, then they're going to have to come up with the reason why they messed it up so bad. Brian. Oh, Biren. Okay. Nope, not here. Nope. Security. Nothing in this video. Okay. So it's not this one.
If you want to present
Nope. Man. These headphones make all audio sound bad. I'm not even kidding. These are so tinny. It's unbelievable. Never gonna get Sennheiser, like, things like that. It's not that Sennheiser headphones are bad. These particular ones are not good. They are very, very much curved on their audio, and I hate it. I like very neutral headphones. I don't like bassy headphones or anything like that. Security. Nothing there. All right, Brian. She never mentions Brian then. Yep. No, they're gonna have to come up with an explanation as to how they messed this up on either side of the videos. Still not. I don't know how they messed this up at all, to be honest. Why isn't the Trump family asking questions about Charlie Kirk? Why isn't Charlie Kirk's family asking questions about Charlie Kirk? Never mentioned that one. Yep. So, yeah, I don't know when she brings up Brian Harpole for the first time. Let me just ask. When is the first time Candace Owens brings up Brian Harpole in a live stream? So this video is number 252. So any video, if it's after any video like that, they're going to have to do a little bit of explanation.
Was what were Charlie's closest friends and allies and the people that were going to carry on the torch at Turning Point USA doing? Oh, they were picking up phone calls like Mikey McCoy. They were already filming themselves prematurely announcing Charlie is dead.
Who's
not
they?
A single person.
Who's they? There was one guy that did that. That's not a they, unless you think that, unless your inner leftism's coming out and you think people are identifying as they.
Person could have known that Charlie Kirk was dead. End quote. That is a factual quotation referring to the immediate.
I mean, good Lord, Candace, he actually was dead, though. So, like, you weren't there. Don't pretend like you're an expert. Don't pretend like you did. Like, seriously, this is ridiculous.
Actions taken by Mikey McCoy and Terrell Farnsworth. Thank you, Brian. I hope that clears that matter up. What else do you have? It looks like this next one is a bit of a double punch.
Oh, let's see.
He wants to sue me for describing his outfit, foremost, you'll see. And then he wants to sue me for having ears and a general sense of comprehension, I guess. Like I'm able to comprehend.
I'm sure that's exactly what he says in this lawsuit. You insulted my clothes and you have stupid ears. Yeah, that makes sense, Candace.
Comprehend the words that are coming out of people's mouths. I took notice that, as many people did, that there were conflicting statements made.
Ooh, that's not good, though, for Brian Harpool. The very first time she ever mentions Brian Harpool, period, is Candace episode 269. That was November 20th, 2025. That's almost a full month later. It was in response to, on my birthday, heck yeah, November 17th's Sean Ryan's show with Brian Harpool was the first time she ever actually mentions Brian Harpool by name. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Including episode 252, Charlie's Angels or Demons from late October, contain no reference to him. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, he's going to have to explain that one. It sounds like it was a goof in some way, shape, or form, but I don't know to what degree. I don't know to what degree Brian Harpool messed that one up.
By Turning Point USA
that sucks.
On that day. Now, there may be a valid excuse for those discrepancies.
Charlie's dad died. Wait, what?
However, you cannot punish the public for noticing them. Okay, I'm referring to the drones. So this claim reads, in your podcast episode entitled "The Great Exodus from Utah," you again falsely claimed that Mr. Harpool failed to render aid to Kirk after he was shot, but this time you incorrectly claimed that Harpool failed to render effective aid to Kirk with his supposed...
I see what's happening now. It doesn't even matter. I didn't even think of this. Of course, they're listing the worst offenses first, and then they're doing the biggest offenses towards the end. And they're essentially throwing everything that they could stick to the wall on Candace, just like every single attorney does. And I hate it when attorneys do that, to be honest. I really do. But I understand why they do it.
Supposed to be medical bag. Okay. Later in the episode, you falsely accused Mr. Harpool of lying about drone availability, asking, is that how these assassinations happen? Together, these statements defame Mr. Harpool by accusing him of being a direct cause of Kirk's assassination. Mr. Harpool did not play a role in Kirk's assassination and did everything he could to render aid and assist Kirk after he was shot. Okay, so to address that obscure medical bag claim, the full quotation from my episode is just a mere description of Brian Harpool and his medical bag. I said exactly, quote, Brian is the one who then runs over to Charlie. And again, you recognize him because he kind of has that small...
You said that he shouldn't have put him up on the medical bag like that at all, though, and you were supposed to lay him flat. That's what you told your audience of millions of people, that he did it wrong. You said that, and I actually ended up saying, hey, before they get the wound pack, because this is what they actually need to do, because I asked my wife, who's a nurse, if somebody gets hit in the neck and they're losing blood profusely, do you want to lay him down on their back immediately? And she said, no, probably not. You'd probably want to pack that wound first, and then you'd want to lift his feet up, because all the blood from up here is going to be gone from here, but all the blood from here down should still pretty much be there. And you don't want to lift him up and let all the rest of it come out of the hole. You want to pack it first, and then you want to get the blood circulation going back through to keep him alive. So I remember that argument very, very well. And I asked, like I said, I asked my wife about that, and it was just like, yeah, you probably would want to, like, not lay him down first, because you don't want the rest of the blood coming out. Makes total sense. You know, it's kind of common sense. Gravity is going to push the rest out of the artery there. So,
supposed to be medical bag over him. I'm completely confused as to how that description is in any way defamatory. I just wanted to alert viewers to the fact that he was not just wearing a man purse and it was supposed to be a medical bag.
No, that's not what you said. You said that they laid him down on it and they were supposed to lay him flat. Apparently you forgot about that. What episode was that again? Because I could probably pull that up. It is The Great Exodus from Utah. Okay.
To render aid and assist Kirk after he was shot. Okay.
All right.
So to address that obscure medical bag claim, the full quotation from my episode is just a mere description of Brian Harpole and his medical bag. I said exactly, quote, Brian is the one who then runs over to Charlie. And again, you recognize him because he kind of has that small...
We'll pause this and then we'll find out because I'm pretty sure she says flat. Lays flat. Nope, it's not this episode. Lay? Playing defense, delay, played, okay. It's not in this episode, I don't think. Because I'm pretty sure she said lay flat, and yet I can't find it here, in this episode. Where does she, security, maybe? Charlie Kirk's head of security, lack of security on roof and drones. Yeah, there's all that. Let's see. What else did she say? What could she have said? Ground? Lay him on the ground? Expose everyone on the ground that day. Military background. Let's see. Flight being on the ground. Yeah, it's not this episode. So maybe she'll mention an episode where it is, but I remember her making the argument that he should have been laid flat.
Small, supposed to be medical bag over him. I'm completely confused as to how that description is in any way defamatory. I just wanted to alert viewers to the fact that he was not. Now, regarding the drones, Brian Harpole's statement flew in direct contradiction to the statements that was given by Frank Turek. Okay, that's confusing for the public.
Is Frank Turek literally a member of the security team? No? Then why do you think he would know more about the security team than the security team?
Public, take a listen.
I spent thousands of dollars on drones
last
year
Turek.
and got the guy's license. But if the area lies in the Provo, Utah airspace, I can't fly it. That's a 107B. We can't break the rules. Right? And then you had secondary restrictions, probably due to heavy foot traffic for the school, but I can't go in and break the rules.
Yeah. So there are on-campus rules. There are also two intersecting airspaces that are there. They have a much more strict airspace at UVU campus than probably most campuses. I don't know about most campuses. I'm sure there's other campuses that kind of have the same situation where they're near airspaces. But yeah, you can't fly drones around there like that. And they have a very strict rule about, like, you could fly them up there, take pictures, and apparently they have to come right back down or something like that. I went over these rules on UVU campus's website. I also ended up emailing that UVU lady, and she said that something along those lines as well. And she also said this June, that's right, this June they have an entire report coming out. I forgot about that. So this June, we're going to have a report come out from UVU.
Anyway, on our way in, we had drone footage of the crowd building. And Charlie had it on his phone. I said, Charlie, I don't like this place. There are too many buildings. Charlie just kind of brushed it off because, look, we have a security team and he wasn't going to cancel an event.
So we're driving in, Megan, and his team has drones up looking at the crowd from above, and they text him some video. And there's thousands of people there an hour before.
You do realize that there's a difference between, like, I can fly a drone at people level. I can fly it up a little higher at building level and stuff. That's not going to impede in any airspace. Security drone footage is going to be going up higher than that. They're going to be flying it around for security purposes, and it's going to be in actual airspace. You can fly a drone. Like, what is the limit before it reaches airspace? What is the height of a drone before it reaches airspace? Something like that. Drones must typically stay below 400 feet. I don't think they would have needed to go up 400 feet. Let's see. Controlled airspace. Oh, okay. So in controlled airspace, though, it's 100. Gotcha. Everywhere else, if it's not controlled airspace, you still need to be below 400 feet above the immediate ground. Gotcha. So controlled airspace is 100 feet. Gotcha. I'm pretty confident they probably still could have done it below 100 feet. So they probably should have had drones flying around out there. But I don't know. UVU may have just said, no, we can't have drones flying around there all the time. Devin says 400 feet, you fly drones. Nice. What about in controlled airspace? Have you ever flown drones in controlled airspace? I'd like your opinion on that.
The start, and I said, Charlie, I don't like this place. There's too many buildings.
But it's even still about like 50 feet up. If I don't think, what is the tallest building? Is the tallest building at UVU and what height? Because I would hate for them to. The Scott C. Keller building is the tallest one. It is 4 stories, so it's 40 feet. Yeah, that's fine. Well, it probably is more than that. It's probably closer to 40 or 50 or 60 feet, just depending on the size of the floors. But even so, yeah, 4-story, 175 seat auditorium, 180 square feet. They could have just left him hovering though, in certain areas. But then again, they're flying him around to find like suspicious people. So I don't know, 60 feet, 70 feet would be, I think they could do that. And they literally would not have impeded in any airspace in the area. But then again, if UVU says no, then that's UVU. That's not Brian Harpool. That's not Frank Turek here. Or Frank Turek, right? That's not... I think that's... I'm getting all my names mixed up. Terrell Farnsworth is who I was thinking of. Never mind. Frank Turek here. Yeah, they could fly around. They could probably take it up there, do pictures, do quick photos, and then land it again. I don't know if... Oh, you off to see Gary? Awesome. Thank you for being here, man. Have good. Tell Gary I said hello. And I'll send people his way probably after the show, too, anyway. I'll get off before Gary does, so there's that. Everyone, be prepared to go and go over to Gary's show here in about like an hour or so at least. Gary went all over that. Yeah, exactly. Gary covered it better than anybody. I am not going to be able to pull everything from memory about because I emailed UVU about this. And I also went through all of their rules and stuff in like, I think it was October. But man, that's like 6-7 months ago. I'm going to remember all that off the top of my head. Doing a pretty decent job of remembering stuff, though. But I do remember that the schools gave permission to, like, let people go around and film for a bit and do photos, and then had them land the drones again. Apparently, this was a school rule. So, I don't know.
Now, again, there very much could be a clear reason as to why these statements are conflicting. But you can't be mad at the public for noticing that the statements are conflicting. Also, did anybody actually fact check Brian Harpool's earlier point? Because I did. He says, well, I can't break the rules. You can't fly drones in Provo airspace. Well, I actually spoke to someone regarding that who has good knowledge of the rules regarding Provo airspace. And he said, yeah, you can't fly in Provo airspace, meaning around airports. You would have to get clearance. You can't fly near hangars, but you can fly drones in Provo. So his whole
in Provo, yeah, but it depends on how close they are.
Excuse of why he didn't even bring drones, we should probably take a second glance at. Again, this is according to a pilot who I know who's in charge of drone
Who's
training.
the pilot?
So
how do you know?
Doesn't seem to be adding up.
Okay, hold on. We'll put this to bed right now. Based on its proximity to Provo Municipal Airport, Utah Valley University main campus in Orem is located within Class E controlled airspace and near Class D airspace, requiring authorization for drone operations. There you go, Candace. That took me 3 seconds to find. So you're wrong. Your pilot that you made up, it's a completely and totally fake thing. You never, ever, ever talk to a pilot about this. And even if you did talk to a pilot, do they work specifically in that area? Because just because a pilot is telling you this does not mean he knows anything about how far the radius is for controlled airspace. Do you think they're going to know? Guess what? My brother-in-law is a pilot. And I guarantee you, he doesn't know the exact radius of how far an airspace goes for specific states and other things like that. Now, he probably knows everything about Oklahoma, probably knows everything about Texas, stuff like that, but I don't know that he knows everything about Utah. and how their flight space works and stuff, it may be different. I don't know if it is or isn't. I'll ask him about it. But right here, it specifically states Class E controlled airspace. So let's take a look at Class E and see what Class E controlled airspace for drones means what. Okay. A type of controlled airspace generally starting at 700 feet or 1,200 feet above ground level. Who is putting drones up there at 700 feet? Wow. Where Part 107 operators do not need prior ATC authorization if they're flying below 400 feet. Okay, so that Class E is probably really nothing. You know what I mean? It's kind of your base thing, I guess. Class D controlled airspace is going to be controlled airspace surrounding airports with active control towers, typically surface to 2,500. Wait, Class D goes higher? So what? If they control it down, what is it going to be like Class G by the time it's like 100 feet? Okay, let's see. Let's see if there's Class F. A special use airspace designed as either advisory or restricted. Okay, so it just goes to straight up restricted if you go Class F. So Class E is literally like the step before Class F. This is weird. Why do they do this? You would think Class A would be like, let's see Class A. 18,000 feet. So Class A is essentially nothing. I had it backwards. The further into the alphabet you go, the more complicated it gets. So it goes from Class E is as controlled as it could possibly be, essentially. But even so, that's not crazy control. So again, I think the argument does still stand. Maybe we're just wrong about this entirely. I'm happy to be wrong about it. But I know Utah, let me see. What are UVU drone policies? Let's see. Utah University requires compliance with FAA regulations and enforces Policy 705 for unmanned aircraft systems, restricting flights over university-owned property without prior approval. Operators must submit a request for authorization to operate drones to the Risk Management Department, which is a mandatory for filming or research on campus. Okay. UVU may have denied it for some reason. Let's see here. Did UVU deny drone activity for Charlie Kirk? No metal detectors? Where's the AI on this? Why? Yes, Utah Valley University reportedly denied a request from Charlie Kirk's security team. All right, handle it with UVU. Handle it with UVU. That's not anything. That's nothing to do with Charlie Kirk's security team. Instantly don't care. Oh, Mary Jean Blair for the $5 sticker. Thank you so much for that. So at the end of all of this, that I believe is what I discovered 7 months ago. I'll have to go back and look through my footage. Pretty sure UVU said no drones. Sounds to me like Charlie Kirk and them were like, well, we're getting footage anyway. And they did that, but the security team was like, no. Now, if UVU denied it, and UVU is putting out a statement in June or July, apparently, according to the email, whenever I emailed her, which Candace Owens still has not emailed the dean of UVU, and I don't know why. And I did a video over this. So, there we go. There it is. UVU denied it and said no drone footage. Take it up with the campus.
Up there, you can clarify that, but you can't pretend that someone tried to defame you unless you're going to go after Frank Turek. Anyway, let's actually pivot to the lawsuit because it is remarkable.
Frank Turek did not, I don't want to say defile now. He did not at all, what word did she use?
By that, but you can't pretend that someone tried to defame you.
Defame. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. He didn't defame him. He said they went ahead and launched drones anyway. So he broke the rules.
Unless you're going to go after Frank Turek. Anyway, let's actually pivot to the lawsuit because it is remarkable. Okay, the lawsuit itself is 69 pages, and for some unknown reason, he begins the lawsuit, and I'm talking like the first few pages with strong support for Israel. I guess that's mandatory. Candace is anti-Semitic, just even though Brian Harpel's not Jewish. I am not Jewish. Charlie was not Jewish. He mentions this just kind of sporadically in a paragraph where he's painting this picture that I'm a conspiracy theorist. They also mention, we can bring this up here on point 19, that I don't believe the moon landing. Guilty as charged.
Okay.
Guilty as charged. I think the moon landing was fake. I'm not sure what this has to do with anything. If I'm required to believe the moon landing is real,
She said they're saying specifically, for example, Candace Owens has used her podcast and social media accounts to perform baseless and malicious conspiracies. They thought it relevant to put it in there. Ask his attorney. I don't care. I don't think it's relevant. I don't think your ideologies are relevant to bring up at all what in this lawsuit. It should stick to defamation. But I understand what they're trying to do is lead a paper trail of you making crap up. I get it. But at the end of the day, it kind of brings in your ideology. And that's not something that's really capable of being sued over. But I understand the logic behind it. Like, again, it's one of those things to where it's at the beginning. It's at page 9 out of 69 pages. They are trying to throw everything at the wall to see what will stick. Not everything in this is going to stick, and you know that. You do this too when you
But he just kind of mentions that, and then, you got to have that random strong support for Israel right at the top, which is why also embedded is the mandatory picture of Bibi Netanyahu. You got to let these people know.
Oh, he thought it was taken by a drone, but it wasn't? Oh, well, then there it is. Well, I'll have Frank Turek come out and admit that, though, and
on Israel before you even get into the substance of a lawsuit. So I appreciate that preamble. That's just called our standard constitutional preamble. He's with Israel. Okay, cool. I'm going to do that when I respond. I'm going to say, I just want you to know, I love Israel. Just saying that. I now want to draw your attention to the obscure argument that he is making. So just pages and pages of him just kind of painting a picture of who I am. But he comes out and kind of makes this obscure argument that he is a private citizen. Okay, that's point 29. He's trying to assert that he is a private citizen. Now,
he is a private citizen.
Let's take a look at this. Despite 2 podcast appearances, Harpole remains a private individual and not a limited purpose public figure. He has social media accounts that he does not use for posting content. He has no public platforms to effectively rebut or counteract statements. And his involvement in the controversy is limited to 2 defensive appearances. He did not seek publicity or attempt to influence public debate. Huh? I'm sorry. First and foremost, why is he doing that? That's very important. Let's get to why he...
Because you accused his security team of doing a bad job. So he came out and literally refuted that. See, you didn't name Brian Harpool until after he showed up on Sean Ryan's show. But you did mention Charlie Kirk's security by that point in time. In November, you absolutely did.
Is trying to assert that I know I went on Sean Ryan, but I'm a private citizen. That's because he doesn't want to have to meet the actual malice standard, right? You're a public figure.
By the way,
you have to meet...
Turek did not walk back the drone stuff, so he's going to have to come out and maybe do that. I don't know. Maybe he saw drone stuff there. Was he even there that day? Retarded rabbit's back, but yeah.
The actual malice standard.
I wonder if he was. I'll have to look back at this.
That I knowingly published something that was false and that I did it and acted in total disregard to the truth. I knew what the truth was, and I said, I don't care. I'm going to publish this.
Notice how she words it like that and says literally, you're going to have to prove I did this on purpose, instead of just simply saying I didn't do this on purpose.
It's a hard standard to meet. That would be, in my view, for Brian to assert that he's not a public figure here, that would be hard because Brian did actually go and pursue not just any podcast, okay? One of the top podcasts in the world, the Sean Ryan podcast.
Are you sure he pursued it, or did Sean Ryan ask him?
Podcast, and he opened himself up.
Oh, Frank was there.
What is the law in the books when you do that? The rule is that private citizens can indeed become limited purpose public figures when they voluntarily thrust themselves into the forefront of a particular public controversy.
Why did he put himself in there?
To influence its outcome. In such cases, they are considered public figures only for the context of that specific issue and for a limited time. That's exactly what Brian Harpole did.
No, it's not.
Okay, he went and he's going to argue, well, I did it defensively. You went on a public platform and you gave information about what the security did, all these questions that were being asked. And you're going to claim, which he does, this is wild, that the reason he went on Sean Ryan, this is crazy to me. He is saying that the reason he went on Sean Ryan was because of me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was specifically because of you. That's why we were all excited whenever he was going on the show. It was like, oh my gosh, finally he's going to clear up Candace Owens' bullcrap that she's spewing. I remember it very clearly in November. By November, you were absolutely accusing TPUSA of being in on this. And because you're accusing TPUSA of being in on this, somehow, some way, shape, or form, the security naturally would have had to have been in on it too. So that was absolutely him going in there and going, no, we didn't do anything. I mean, why do you think he had to say he wasn't behind it on Sean Ryan's show? I'll pull it up.
That is beyond. Okay, let's look at this point 28. On November 17th, after Owens and other conspiracy theorists had already implicated Harpole and his team in the assassination, Harpole appeared on the Sean Ryan show solely to respond to and to rebut the defamatory statements. I'm sorry, what? That's going to be a tricky one to prove in court, considered I never once mentioned Brian Harpole on my show until after he went on Sean Ryan. Literally.
Who cares? You mentioned the security team. The security team is his company.
Not once did I mention Brian Harpole's name on my podcast. I mentioned his name 2 days after he went on Sean Ryan, and it was in direct response to his disastrous appearance on Sean Ryan. His appearance was on November 17th. The first time I mentioned him on this show was on November 19th. In other words, you elected yourself as a spokesperson for the security team, thereby making yourself a public figure, and I responded to it, okay? Here's where it gets even crazier, though. Him pretending that I was a part of the early conspiracies against him. I did not believe the early conspiracies against Brian Harpole. Okay, now.
Yeah, you did. You absolutely believed him. Don't BS. So let's go here. I believe it's right here. Let's go.
We just want to bring some answers to unanswered questions here today and avenge Brian's team of these accusations and conspiracies. And we basically just want to clear the air.
All he's going to do is show this part. All he has to do is show this part of the show. And it's very, very easy. Very easy. They came onto the show to clear the air of the conspiracy theories that were going around. So he was here in defense of himself. 1,000,000%. There's no other way around it. They say it right at the beginning of the show, 6 minutes in, that that he is here today to clear up the conspiracy theories about him and his team. There you go, Candace. All you had to do was do about 6 seconds of research here. It wasn't that hard to figure out.
Not only that, I went through great lengths to defend both Brian Harpole and Dan Flood without mentioning their names because I didn't want the...
Yeah, no, you didn't. You're just a liar. You never did that. You never tried to ever defend them in a million years, or you would have said their names.
Public to find them when all the early conspiracies started flying. Specifically, the conspiracies were about hand signals. You remember? Frank Turk's doing hand signals. It looks like Dan Flood's doing hand signals. It looks like Brian Harpole is doing hand signals behind.
Oh, does it now? Candace, why do you perjure yourself on your own podcast? Do you ever think before you speak? Oh, I never mentioned anything about Brian Harpole, and then...
The conspiracies started flying. Specifically, the conspiracies were about hand signals. You remember? Frank Turk's doing hand signals. It looks like Dan Flood's doing hand signals. It looks like Brian Harpole is doing hand signals behind.
Huh. You don't say. Should have thought before you spoke.
His back, and they're all looped in. I didn't believe it. I genuinely didn't believe it. I didn't believe any of these people had anything to do with anything because I knew Turning Point.
Really
and so
now?
I spoke to Andrew Colvett on the phone about how I did not believe any of that. And
prove it.
Andrew asked me if I would be willing to say something publicly on my podcast to that effect because they were getting hammered. And I said, of course I will. These are good guys. Here is the text message that I sent to Andrew Colvett following that discussion on the phone.
Let's see. Who are these two guys? 5 minutes after Charlie was shot, they moved his chair. A crime scene tamper. If they're trying to save his life, it's not a crime scene tamper. So Candace Owens already immediately thought Charlie Kirk was dead, immediately upon impact. Oh, good job, Candace. Okay, and they stood on his chair to remove the camera. Completely abnormal. 5 minutes after the murder, when the police should have been there, which she actually does not have a proper time frame for that. Also, yes, I will say something about the security. I know them well, which is why I never bought into people saying he was making signals. Now, I want actual, more than this. I want you to scroll down a little more. That's what I would like to see happen. But the thing about it is she definitely implied. When did she? I'm going to find out.
I said,
Let's
also, yes, I will say something about the security. I know them well, which is why I never bought into people saying that he was making signals. And guess what I did, guys? On that very same day in September, on this podcast, I defended the security team and Dan Flood and said that they were good people. Here are my words. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories floating in about the security guard and people thinking he was making gestures. I know that security person. He's a good guy. It would shock me. I usually get a vibe about somebody. Not that guy. Not the guy that they say he's like rolling up. He tends to do that, roll up his sleeves. I don't buy that one.
Which one is that guy, though?
Okay, I don't buy that one.
Hey, play that out more. Wait. What episode was that from? What episode was that from? I'll finish that for you. Hold on a second. I want to see which episode this was from.
Dan Flood and said that they were good people. Here are my words.
Oh, she said she was talking about Dan Flood. Okay, well, we're not talking about Dan Flood. We're talking about Brian Harple.
Wow. You're saying you went on Sean Ryan because of things that I was saying, and that's what I was saying. Again, it was because of his behavior and what he said on Sean Ryan's show.
I might have found something, guys. Hold on a second. Quickly began promoting conspiracy theories about killing mid-September 2025. Hold on. She posted on X that Kirk was betrayed by everyone. On October 31st, she followed up with they all betrayed him in reference to Charlie Kirk's mysterious death there, according to her. A defamation lawsuit filed by Brian Harple. Okay, I didn't ask for that. Which episode specific was the first? Okay, we'll just do that.
Oh, which I found to be unconvincing, which is he's suing me for saying that interview was unconvincing, which made me feel weird and take a second look. This has been a very natural process for me. I did not come into this guns a-blazing, so to speak, against Turning Point USA. And to get to this bigger part.
This COVID comes in waves.
This really feels to me like one big PR move, okay? It feels like he's kind of trying to pull the Blake Lively. He wants to make the claim that he's not a public figure. And that's specifically because a large chunk of his claims are pertaining to Mitch Snow, who he is also suing, by the way. And what is not helpful to his claims to sue me and Mitch Snow is the fact that I reached out to Brian Harple personally before I featured Mitch Snow on this podcast, okay? So the story goes that on November 8th, I at first mentioned that there was someone who thought that they saw Brian Harple at Fort Huachuca, that I, examined the person's documents, whatever. I found him to be credible, as in I believed he said where he said he was, when he said he was. It was a solo episode on December 9th. And if you recall, it caused mass panic. So I was intending to interview Mitch Snow, and then craziness started, right? Erica Kirk did her just stop tour. She's out there saying stop. Privately, I was effectively being threatened behind the scenes not to speak to Mitch Snow. They knew I wanted.
Can you prove a single threat that happened on you? That's crazy.
To interview him, and someone reached out to me. And this was coming through Paramount Tactical and the Valhalla guy. And they were saying, if you do this, if you interview Mitch wasn't even in the military. They're running a different direction. He's a complete fraud. He's never been to Fort Huachuca. And if you actually interview Mitch, Brian Harple, where he's going to sue you. That's what came down the pipeline to me. So before I even got to do the interview, Brian Harple was telling people to say that if I interview this guy, I'm going to sue you. And I thought that was completely deranged. I said, well, this is crazy. Brian Harple has my number. Why is he sending out these random YouTubers? He knows who I am. I've defended him.
I don't think Brian Harple sent out a single YouTube.
His podcast. So I reached out to him before we hosted Mitch Snow to get his fuller story and to say, hey, you're welcome to tell me that you just weren't there. Like, what's up? We don't have to I don't want to host this guy. Like, why are you being all weird? I asked him then beyond that if he wanted to clarify anything. I sent Brian Harple, I think a total of 4 messages. And I also sent Dan Flood a message. Again, from the day before or 2 days before I interviewed Mitch Snow through to January. trying to get him to just say yes or no. And he actually remarkably embeds these many messages to him in the lawsuit. And that's going to be point 54
Why don't you show any of your text messages to Brian Harpel?
to 55. He just embeds these into the lawsuit. Hi, Brian. This is Candace Owens. A lot of people are telling me that you're planting seeds regarding a lawsuit. I wanted to see if you wanted to have an off-record discussion with me about anything, or if you'd...
Oh, it was November 5th when she mentioned the security team, but it was in a tweet. Link me the tweet. Okay.
like to simply clarify something that you think that I got wrong. You can
Okay. So you sent him a message.
see I followed up on December 19th.
Okay.
Hi, Brian. Just again, reaching out in case you want to clarify your whereabouts on the morning of September 9th.
I thought you said Brian sent you messages back, though.
Only interested in the truth. So I would be happy to debunk Mitch if he perhaps is misremembering the faces that he saw. No response. I think they also...
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, guys. November 5th. Charlie's body never actually hit the ground, so what was his security doing behind the table? November 5th. This is before November 17th. So he was directly responding to you. Oh my gosh, why is that so loud? No.
All right, you guys. Happy
Gee,
Wednesday
thanks, X.
for some people in New York City.
So anyway, let's see. Let's see if she mentions the security team or Brian Harpel in this episode. Yep, security team right here.
Charlie was never rendered any first aid immediately. I know the security team. I know that one of them is supposed to administer first aid immediately. We don't.
Candace Owens is in trouble. No, she just said before Brian Harpel ever went on Sean Ryan, literally 12 days before he goes on Sean Ryan, she says that the security team never rendered any aid. Uh-oh. That's not gonna go good for Candace. That's not gonna go good for Candace at all. Wow. Ooh, that's not great. Uh-oh, Candace, you really screwed up. Let's see if she mentions Brian at all. Nope. Nope. She does not well, maybe. Briefly, bright, brings. Okay. Let's just type in security and see how many times she mentions security. 4 times. I know the security team. I know one of them is supposed to administer first aid immediately. Oh, okay.
Charlie was never rendered any first aid immediately. I know the security team. I know that one of them is supposed to administer first aid immediately. We don't see that happening. I've seen everything from different angles. When he's down on the ground, they don't put any gauze on him. They don't even put a hand where the wound is to try to stop the bleeding. In fact, when they pick him up, he is flopping all the way to the car. His neck is not even being held in a manner like they're trying.
Uh-oh. Ooh, Candace. That's not good. Oh, no. The security guard actually grabbed Charlie. There we go. Okay. What's the security guard that grabbed him?
And what you can see is that the first thing that happens is the security guard actually grabs Charlie. So Charlie doesn't actually fall from the chair. The security guard lifts him and guides him onto the ground, which is what you're supposed to do. Obviously, get low. Unless you're Mikey McCoy, when shots go off, you're supposed to get low. And so he puts him behind the table, but he guides him on top of a suitcase, an equipment suitcase, so to speak. I'm going to show you guys that because no one has actually caught on to this. And at no point do they take him off of this.
Is this the episode?
So whenever like 30 seconds pass, and it just strikes me as really odd.
That is not us abandoning Charlie. Charlie had a security team. They all left.
Let's see here. I wonder if this is flat. Here we go. This is what I was talking about earlier.
No one has actually caught on to this. And at no point do they take him off of this. Okay. So whenever like 30 seconds pass, and it just strikes me as really odd that you wouldn't put him flat and straight, and then they're all kind of huddled over him.
And this is when I asked my wife, who is a nurse, I said, would you want to, knowing that there's a gunshot wound to an artery in your throat, would you want to lay someone down flat? And she said, not before packing the wound, you wouldn't. You would probably want to lay him down flat. As a matter of fact, you'd probably want to pick his legs up first, after the wound is packed, to make sure that the blood starts circulating from his feet all the way back up into his head, to recover any blood loss. And then you would want to take him to the hospital immediately, of course. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Now listen, there are many, many, many nurses out there. Many RNs that are out there. This is what my wife would suggest, but that does not mean that all nurses are going to suggest this. That does not mean all doctors are going to suggest that either. But when she told me that and said, well, yeah, blood's going to be coming from here down, obviously, because of the open wound, and because it's your artery, it is going to spew out a lot of blood. But if there's going to be any blood left in the body, it's going to be, just as gravity would intend it, down further towards your feet. So you pack the wound, you lay him down, you pull his feet up for any remaining blood to start circulating back through. That's probably the most likely scenario you would want to do. But she said, but I don't know because I wasn't there. And also the people on the ground probably would have had a better eyes on the wound. She said all wounds are different. It's just one of those things that no two wounds are ever really truly the same. But again, it's just one of those situations. But here's Candace just sticking her foot in her mouth. That's crazy. So, yeah. Let's see here. So, November 5th, Candace Owens claims the Charlie Kirk security team, aka Brian Harpole, did not do their jobs by rendering aid. Good job, Candace. You got yourself caught. This is 12 days before Brian went on Sean Ryan's show. All right. There you go. There you go. Now it's on there for everyone to see it. It's screenshot so she can't delete it. And this episode has been recorded. Doesn't matter if she deletes her show now.
On top of a suitcase, like an equipment box, so to speak. So here is this. I'm going to show you that. Look, has anybody caught this? Charlie was never actually put onto the ground. And his head, which we're obviously blurring out here, his head is flopped over. He is not.
That's probably actually the best position for him to be in. Because any blood that would pool up to the top of his brain here, his neck being up, his throat being up, if it's even possible. I mean, it's very not likely that there was any blood remaining up in the head right there at all. But pack the wound here, lift his feet afterwards. Actually makes perfect sense. This is at an angle. Perfect angle, as you can see. So, well, this actually may be flat because look at how this foot is higher than the foot on the right. It looks like they're standing at an angle, so it looks like this camera may have been tilted. I don't know for sure, though. If you were to go butt cheek to butt cheek here, boom. Oh, well, actually, no. No, it looks like this may be laying up at an angle, which is ideal. I don't know. I think they probably did it the right way, in my opinion there. Just based on what my wife's, medical history is and her job being a nurse. Hello, boy.
Also put a third message in there. I don't know if you can scroll and see that, or if that's not attached yet. But we, like I said, multiple messages that I sent him, he just didn't answer. So why? Why didn't Brian Harpole simply respond? Why didn't you send a cease and desist?
Because he doesn't have to, and you shouldn't have spread lies. That's on you, Candace. Like nobody has to check you and stop you from lying. That's not anybody else's job other than you. You shouldn't be lying, Candace.
This a long time ago. Why did you ask me for a retraction? Here's another one. Hey, Brian, reaching out again to see if you'd be willing to speak about the morning of the 9th. I'm obviously not trying to do anything other than debunk Mitch so I can pivot and refocus the investigation, but I oddly cannot get you to confirm or deny if you were there. He's acknowledging he received these messages and he chose not to respond.
Mouth, buddy.
Again, why? Well, lucky for us, he's going to explain it in the lawsuit. And this is the wildest point of all.
Okay,
it's actually insane. It's an insane reason. Respond to my 3 messages to you. Sorry, point number 59, I think it is. Here we go. Owens soon texted Harpole a third time, asking again if he would like to speak about the events that transpired on the morning of September 9th. Owens concluded her text message by stating that she found it odd that she could not get Harpole to confirm or deny his location on the morning of September 9th. Owens already knew why Harpole didn't respond. Her repeated texts to Harpole to get him to respond to the defamatory conspiracy theories that she had been promoting present a cynical attempt to profit from a situation that she had manufactured by spreading defamatory lies.
Oh, he's not a lab. He's a full-blooded German Shepherd. I appreciate it, though. I would love to have a cute black lab.
About Harpole and then cajoling him to give her the exclusive content of a response. She stood to profit from.
Now, this isn't going to hold up right here. This whole thing going, Candace knew why. They'd have to read her mind. I don't like when Candace Owens tries to read people's minds. I'm not going to give Brian Harpole the same benefit of the doubt. You can't say that she knew why he didn't respond if he never responded and she just kept texting him. That doesn't mean she knows. That's not, a judge is going to look at that and be like, you don't know. You don't know what was going through her head. So same thing, when Candace Owens does it, I'm not going to give her a pass. When Brian Harpole does it, I won't give him a pass either. That was a silly statement, to be honest.
Increased attention and viewership to her platform at Harpole's expense.
And now that part absolutely could be true. That last statement, where it's like she's trying to feed into her audience and, of course, make money. They could tangibly probably prove that to a degree, or at least be like, hey, this is a good possibility, because look at what she's doing with her audience and with her show. So I can understand that to a degree, but they can't say that she knew. They could say that Brian Harpole did not respond because he believed that that's what she was trying to do. That would have been a better statement, and that would have been, honestly, just more accurate in general. And I think he should have probably phrased it like that.
So he didn't reply with a yes or no because he didn't want to give me an exclusive yes or no, because then I would have made money on my platform. I didn't ask you for an exclusive. It would have put an end to me covering the story beyond. So actually, by not responding before,
would it have been an end? Because you literally told Erica Kirk that if she said to stop investigating, that you would have. And then immediately when she did ask you, you actually were like, no, I'm not going to do it. So he's going to use that against you. You realize that, Candace. He is going to be able to use that against you so easily. Like, that was just a dumb statement for Candace to make there.
I hosted Mitch. It didn't stop me from hosting Mitch. You also could have told Sean Ryan. You could have said, hey, Sean Ryan, I'm going to come on your platform because I don't want Candace to make any money saying yes or no. I don't want to give her this exclusive content.
In all fairness, Sean Ryan didn't ask him.
We're supposed to believe that's the reason?
Cares?
What, are we born yesterday? That's the reason? You didn't want me to make money? So you said, I'm just going to be so stressed out. I'm never going to say anything to her. This is in December. I'm actually going to wait until April. And then in April, I'm going to say, I'm just filing a lawsuit. I'm just filing a lawsuit. That doesn't ring true. That does not ring very true. Now,
the way you say that, Raymond Jones, the statement she just made will get added to his lawsuit. I almost wonder if this whole thing was a trap because they knew she would go onto her podcast and she would make certain claims that are going to screw her over. If Brian Harpole and his attorney did that for that reason, they're geniuses. Just going to flat out put it out there. They put stuff in there that they knew Candace Owens would start trying to debunk. And I think that may have been the best laid trap that they possibly could have done. If that's the case, they're incredibly smart. And I hope that's what happened. We'll have to see.
Another interesting point of the lawsuit is he repeatedly claims that he's upset that I described him as having lied. Okay, well, you certainly lied by severe omission by not letting viewers know that the text message that you were presenting on Sean Ryan were not between you and the UVU police chief Long, right? Like when people were going, why didn't you secure the rooftops? You presented this text chain as if it was yours. In fact, you explicitly say the implication being that this is the reason I did not secure the rooftops. This text message is the reason. Take a listen to what he said.
On Monday before, This correspondence went to Chief Long. Hello, Chief Long. We received this
Hey, I got a question. Is Chief Long him? No? Okay.
message today from the student group. There is a student roof access pretty close to where CK will be set up at the Utah Valley. The Sorensen Center has a couple of staircases that go up to walkways on the roofs. He comes back, and for edification, the Sorensen Center was the building in front of the Lucy Center. And so he comes back and he says, you want access to the roof. And came back and said, I was told students have access above us. If this is true, it would be nice to either have it controlled access or allow one of my guys to be there as well if possible. He comes back and his last correspondence was, I got you covered.
Okay.
What else am I to do? When a command level person from an accredited police department says, I've got this area.
What else am I to do? He is heavily implying that I did what I had to do. I texted him. He said he had it covered. What else am I to do? And then we revealed on the show that those aren't even his messages. Those are Dan Flood's messages. And
wow, the like literal next guy in security. Cool. Okay.
He admits that finally in this lawsuit that those are Dan Flood's messages. That was not an honest presentation to say, what else am I supposed to do?
Okay, well, fine. What else is Dan Flood supposed to do? Which again, Brian Harpool is the owner of the company. So again, that falls on to what is Brian Harpool supposed to do? Why are we even splitting hairs like that? That still falls on Brian Harpool having the final say. Okay, so what was Dan Flood supposed to do? Oh, also nothing? Fantastic. I'm glad we got to that end of the road there, Candace. Good job.
If you were not even on that text chain. So yeah, I view that to be
How do you know he wasn't on it?
A lie by severe omission. I think the average person, a jury pool, will say, yeah, no, that sounds like you were involved in this text chain and your excuse for why you did not secure the rooftops was because of this text chain. You never said, Dan got these messages. Here's what Dan said back.
I'm sure Dan just didn't tell Brian about any of it. You're right, Candace. He would have definitely kept that a secret.
And what is so shocking
Unbelievable.
about this is that throughout this lawsuit, he explicitly lies, that the lawyer explicitly lies in this filing by claiming that I asserted over and over again that Mitch Snow was telling the truth about Harpool, when in fact, no, I went through a great many pains to repeatedly assert publicly that I could not confirm that he saw Harpool. Okay, here is just one of many examples on my podcast. This is actually when I interviewed Mitch Snow, where I said, I can't confirm who you saw. Take a listen. And I want to be clear.
Wait, does he say? Hold on. You guys are saying she did say that, or that he did say that on there? Let me see. I can pull it up. It'll be very, very easy if Dan Flood's ever mentioned. Let me see here. Sean, Brian Harpool. We'll pull up the episode. And we'll just see if Dan Flood is ever mentioned at all and see what he says. This will be great. Alrighty. Dan. Okay. Dan works for Turning Point as their security guy, so Dan feeds down to us. Okay. Let's see here. I wanted to scroll. There we go. And Charlie's trying to stand about this. Okay. Let's just go through Dan here. Dan did that meticulously. Okay. Work those angles. I mean, you had Dan next to Charlie. Okay. Dan had his hands down to the ground. Okay. When I started running, that's when Dan grabbed him. Okay. Dan jumps in. Dan was there. Everyone's bewilderment. I don't know. Actually, what does it even matter? But Dan did that meticulously. Okay. I mean, you had Dan next to Charlie. Okay. Yeah. Let me just type in text. Screenshot of text so everyone can see it. Really, absolutely. Do a FOIA for his phone. Wait, what's this mean? Hold on.
Would it be okay if we put that
Sure.
screenshot of that text
Absolutely.
up for everybody to see?
Absolutely.
So they know it's real?
Yeah, absolutely. And do a FOIA for his phone.
That's a good idea.
Do a FOIA. Do a FOIA for his phone and have those records put out so everybody can see them.
Yeah, why hadn't Candace done that yet?
Do a FOIA for the communications for days leading up to it.
Okay.
Do it.
Candace?
And
do
the truth's
that.
like a lion. You
Candace
set
could have
it
done this
free
a long
and it'll
time
fight
ago.
for itself.
One of my favorite sayings.
Where's the message?
Last question before we take a break. I just want to ask,
Wait,
were you
why did he-
understaffed or I mean, was anybody sick?
Oh, here it
It
is.
would be nice to either have it controlled.
For his phone. Okay. They're talking about getting a FOIA for the officer's phone then, right? That would even be a better idea. Why not? I don't know. It really doesn't matter though.
I can confirm on this podcast live every step of your story in terms of where you went, what time you were there,
can?
that there was this big meeting that happened. I
Wait a minute.
confirmed the location
I forgot about that. Why didn't Candace ever do that?
with other people that are on Fort Huachuca currently. I can confirm everything with metadata. I obviously can't confirm that you saw who you say you saw.
Why didn't she do that?
I obviously can't confirm that you saw who you say you saw. And like I said it repeatedly. And even in this filing, in his own legal filing,
You know how many times she says she believes Mitch Snow, though? Whether she confirms it or not, she goes, I believe him, though. Okay.
Brian's lawyer accuses me of confirming Mitch's claim, while in the very next paragraph, he presents proof that I didn't confirm Mitch's claim. This is point 63. I mean,
Okay,
this
I bet
lawsuit
you-
is a dizzying read.
Let's see. Hold on.
He says,
This would be
on
great.
December 23rd, Owens posted to X, Fort Huachuca confirmed. The body of the post claimed that she had proof that Snow was telling the truth about Harpole and contained a screenshot of what Owens claims to be the incident report from Snow's visit to Fort Huachuca. Did he read my post? My post right here says, find your favorite podcaster who joined the psychological operation to convince you that Mitch was lying about having been at Fort Huachuca. Remember, Mitch said he was at first taken outside by Captain Neff and questioned for a long time. I then recap what happened. I said I always believed Mitch's story of what happened on that morning because he supplied overwhelming evidence with metadata and timestamps. Now we have the incident report. What we cannot confirm as of yet is his memory of who he is convinced he saw coming out of that early morning meeting. We cannot confirm, Matt Sarlson. We cannot confirm. What is this? What is this? What are we to make of all of this? What are we to make of this filing? What do you think is the purpose of this filing? I'll give you my thoughts, my questions rather. I can't know what is going on behind the scenes. I think the timing of this is strange. Like I said, the strategy here to never actually ask me to retract, to never present any evidence to the contrary. Hey, Candace, here's my receipt. I was getting a Starbucks at 9 a.m. I was therefore not at Fort Huachuca, or getting a Starbucks at 7:30 when that meeting was happening. Could any of that? Never did this, okay? I can tell you, though, via my experience with defamation, is that there are a lot of lawsuits that are filed because people don't understand that what you put in a lawsuit filing is not always true, as I just demonstrated to you, right? You can write whatever you want, and people tend to take everything that's filed as a fact. They just go, oh, well, like case in point, Brigitte said I was a dual citizen of the UK. Suddenly people start saying I'm not a dual citizen of the UK. It's not a fact. Okay. So you can just put stuff in a lawsuit. And I have seen over and over again examples of people filing lawsuits as PR strategies. I lived that with the Kim Klacik lawsuit. I said, she was a former stripper, blah, blah, blah. She said, I am not. So she files this lawsuit and then says, this is proof that it's not true because I'm filing a lawsuit. And people then started, oh, well, it must be true. She's filing a lawsuit. So, and then what ended up happening was she took it to discovery and then she folded, right? She folded and wanted to sign an agreement and say, let's walk away and not talk about it. When we started presenting the evidence of the strippers that worked with her and knew her, it was like, okay, actually, this was just meant to be a PR thing, actually. And so I could keep claiming that this wasn't true. I've seen that happen before, okay? Is this that? Is this someone going, I just want to be able to get people to think that by filing...
Well, there's a reason why you're not covering every single thing, all 69 pages. I can tell you that.
Filing this lawsuit means I'm telling the truth. I'm saying in this lawsuit that I wasn't at Fort Huachuca. Why else would I file a lawsuit? That doesn't mean now everybody can just let the Fort Huachuca story go because I said it. Like I said that Candace said things that she didn't say. Like I asserted that Candace was a part of the early conspiracies when actually the exact opposite thing is true. I'm just going to put stuff in here and then I'm going to hand it to journalists, which is what they do. And journalists are going to publish this and say, proof that he wasn't at Fort Huachuca because why else would he file a lawsuit? But maybe there's an expectation that it's never going to make it through the court system, that you're never actually going to have to present any proof of anything. Because the judge is going to look at this and go, no, she asked you multiple times. I'm going to throw this
I had a hair right on my tongue. I knew that came from that turd. Dang it.
away. Is that the expectation? Again, I'm asking questions here. This feels weird to me. The strategy here feels weird to me. You're dealing with a lawyer that has full access to my lawyers
Gotta have more hair.
in the state of Tennessee, has been in communication with them for 2 years. He never raises a single issue until the end of April and then says, doesn't matter if we're filing a lawsuit. Is this a PR move? And if it is, how do we respond to it? Well, I obviously just received a...
If he wanted to make an actual PR move, he just wouldn't do anything at all. He wouldn't even get involved anymore. He wouldn't say anything because you haven't mentioned Brian Harpool in a little while. So, I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't. I think he literally is tired of your BS. I think he is probably losing a little bit of money after what you have claimed about him. And it was very, very clear. You mentioned the security team way before he ever went on Sean Ryan's show.
Lost a couple of hours ago, and I am not therefore at liberty.
Yeah, her lawyers dropped
to assert what we will or will not do because I have to speak with my husband, and I haven't had the time to, formally plead my case with him, so to speak. But what I will say is, how many opportunities are we going to have? Are we ever going to have another opportunity to force depositions? Are we ever going to have an opportunity to have the power of subpoena? He is making claims that he rendered first aid. This would give us the opportunity to then say, oh, Terrell Farnsworth actually has footage that the public has never seen from every angle.
Now, hold on. So now you're saying that, yet again, that you don't believe that he ever rendered first aid? That was a November 5th claim.
We can now take a look. We want to see this footage and subpoena this footage so that we can see what happened on the ground if you are asserting that you did provide critical aid. Will we ever have an opportunity to do this ever again? Can we look at this situation where you're saying, oh, this conspiracy, all these people are involved. You're bringing up Terrell Farnsworth, Mikey McCoy. You're bringing up these episodes where we discussed Erica. Can we now sit these people for a deposition? Can we now demand these text messages? He's saying there's no conspiracy here. Can we now say, okay, well, we'd like to discover that. We'd like to actually look at all of the evidence and be able to come up with an argument. And we're going to need access. We're going to need access to everybody's text messages if that's what you are asserting. If you are saying that I have defamed you and you are a part of the Turning Point USA brand, if you're saying you're mentioning Erica Kirk, is this the only plausible path that we will have before us to get Erica Kirk?
No. It was the November 5th video, more than likely.
Kirk to sit for deposition to answer basic questions that we've been asking for actually a very long time. If that's the claim that you are making regarding there being no conspiracy, is the power of subpoena actually going to be our only way?
Well, let's find out.
I'd like to hear your guys' positions on this, but I have never been doing this for fun. Charlie Kirk is dead. We have been told a lot of...
You don't want to be morbid, though, right? He was only your friend. Oh, man, you're not grieving right, Candace.
Lies, a lot of inconsistent stories from the people that are around him. They are, I would say, especially in this last month, there seems to be sort of a ramped up effort to attack people who have been asking for the truth in a reasonable fashion over and over again, extending messages to Brian, hey, come on the show if you'd like to. I didn't even ask him to come on the show. I said, you could just tell me what the truth is and I'll report on that. And they don't want to do that. You don't jump and skip and then file a lawsuit. That's not normal. That is abnormal. That's not the
That's your opinion.
normal trend. People genuinely want to not have the wrong information out there. So they ask you to retract the statements that you are making. Something's not right here.
Oh, okay, sure. Nice opinion.
I get a sense that this feels like, well,
here's Candace Spidey sense.
We tried to answer about Fort Huachuca. It was a very serious lawsuit, but defamation's hard. That was what Kim Klacik said. Defamation's hard. So that's why I have a lawsuit failed. But as you can see, I'm telling the truth because I filed the lawsuit. I think we have to think on this. I have to talk to my husband. I do think that this really may be the only opportunity that anybody who deeply cares about this case and genuinely wants truth will have to be able to subpoena that information. The power of subpoena is, well,
B for vendetta.
It's power.
I like it.
It is a tool. And I've only ever been interested in getting to the truth of what happened to Charlie Kirk on September 10th. So
I don't think you are.
We'll pause there.
If you were interested in getting to the truth, you would have, I don't know, tried to find out Lance Twiggs and Tyler Robinson's connection to Erica Kirk at TPUSA, right? You would have absolutely tried to get into contact with Charlie Kirk's parents and see how they feel about all this and stuff like that. You have never once tried to do that. If you really wanted to get down to the bottom of it too, why didn't you go to UVU's campus? Why haven't you emailed UVU? Why haven't you talked with them about their drone policy or anything like that? You've not really done too much to actually investigate what truly happened that day. All you've done was pass around a bunch of conspiracy theories and emails that you had received from fans. Why do you think that is you trying to get down to the bottom of Charlie Kirk, but not actually trying to go out and investigate? It's really, really weird. If I thought something was going on, right, I'd be contacting Charlie Kirk's parents. I'd be contacting Tyler Robinson's family, or I'd at least go down the rabbit hole. Because you've gone down the rabbit hole of all these people connected to Lori Francevey, Erica Francevey, and all this other stuff. But you've never once tried to see how Tyler Robinson connects into the picture. No, he's just an innocent little boy who did do nothing. That's what he did. Didn't do nothing. He's just an innocent boy. He didn't do nothing. How did he even get involved, Candace? And yet you won't even look at that. It's really strange.
There, and then I will break some news to you guys after this brief break.
Let's hear a break wind.
Subject to approval. I for credit profile about American financing to cover the set inside American financing is always very sensible about these things. He and I are wired differently. I might even tell you I can net/Owens.
Here we go.
I can already hear the debate. I can already I already know my husband's points that he's going to make. He is
gotta first of all break your foot and you're gonna punch him in the eye, right? There we go, the Candace Owens thing. Or he's just gonna slam his car into somebody because he was too drunk, right?
Always very sensible about these things. He and I are wired differently. I mean, I even told you guys with the guy with the little tap who then was like, oh, we're gonna sue you for a little fender bender. I was like, I would have fought that to the end. And
it wasn't a fender bender, it was a drunk driving crash. And we have the records now. They're public. So why in the world are you still lying about this?
George's perspective is sometimes just take the easier route. But this is different, I think. This is what we have been fighting for the last 7 months. George knew Charlie and really respected him. They respected one another. And I have been thrust into the public and dealing with all of the smears, the attacks on me, my family, my employees. This might be the only window of opportunity that we have. And I know lawsuits are expensive. That's the whole reason why they try to discourage and they want you to always take the path of least resistance. But you know what? My life just hasn't been that way anyway. I'm actually accustomed to it. So anyway, moving on. I said at the top that I
George's
sort of slept on this thing. Like, yeah. First off, are you getting the sense that it was kind of like all plotted and planned for my birthday? Is it a weird thing? Like, so much was happening in the universe. It feels like everyone was like, that's our date, April 29th. Go for her. Go for her. First off, I also want to let you guys know a little loophole. My priest does not watch this show. Okay. He is in London. So I might be able to get away with not chilling today a little bit. And I'm not chilling, actually, because it was actually unacceptable yesterday. And I'm going to show you more of it happened. But of course, the big news was Erica Kirk just coming out there and saying something that was so obviously untrue. It was just so obviously untrue. Baron Coleman.
Amazing, Candace. It was a little fender bender. It's just my husband got arrested for being drunk. Totaled the car completely. Totaled the T-Rex. Totaled the T-Rex Dodge Ram. It's a heck of a nice car. Was a little bit more than $6,000. That's like, I don't know, $130,000. It's a little bit more than $6,000. It's kind of crazy. Totaled the T-Rex. And then she keeps calling it a little fender bender. It was just a little fender bender. He only got arrested for drunk driving. Wow. Yeah. Whatever floats your goat there, Candace.
Recapped this perfectly on his show last night, and he was wearing the appropriate attire. Take a listen.
So we have a series of questions. Like, if Erica wants to remain at the helm, I think she has to be able to answer some questions. Number one, why did you claim Candace said that Erica killed Charlie? She's never said it.
She did. She said it in a text message. She called her a Black Widow, which means the only people who are Black Widows are people who kill their husbands. She also said she should write a book that I didn't do it, but if I did do it, this is how I would do it, just like O.J. Simpson. I'm guessing you and Candace Owens both believe that O.J. Simpson was innocent, right? And again, she said it in a text message, directly in a text message. So easy to find. I don't know why you guys why do y'all make things like this? Why do y'all make claims like this? I mean, all I got to do is just scroll up just a little bitty bit, and here it is. I'm asking everything. First question, why did you murder your husband? Candace Owens admitted that she said that. Now, she said it was a joke, but she did say it. When you said she never said it.
That I've seen. Oh, but
Not that I've seen.
Didn't you see the text message where she said, yeah, I saw a text message where she was joking around with a friend, and she even put a laugh.
What were the words she said, though? Did she say murder your husband? Because you just said that you've never seen her say that Erica Kirk murdered her husband. Now you're telling me, directly lying to me, that you did indeed see it. When you said you didn't see it. Why'd you lie, buddy? You just said you never saw Candace Owens ever claim that Erica Kirk murdered the husband. Oh, well, it's different because she was ha-ha joking. She still said it. Said she never said it. You said she never said it.
That Erica killed Charlie. She's never said it that I've seen.
Well, and then he goes on to say he did see.
Oh, but Baron, didn't you see the text message where she said, yeah, I saw a text message where she was joking around with a friend.
This guy's literally retarded. This guy is actually literally retarded. So he did see her actually say that. Word for word. Literally word for word. I mean, it's just so unbelievable. I'm blown away that he's this stupid. First question, why did you murder your husband? Okay, yeah, you're an idiot, dude. You are dumb as a box of bricks. You're plumb stupid, dude.
Friend, and she even put a laughy face on it. I saw that. But no one assumed that's what you were talking about, Erica.
Who cares? She did say it, and also she called her a Black Widow.
Not a single person assumed that's what you were talking about. It sounded very clear to me, and I think it did to everyone else because everybody had the exact same reaction, that what you were trying to say in that moment today is that Candace goes on her podcast or goes to speeches and she says, I believe Erica did it. I'll be the first to say, I don't think Erica did it. I don't think Erica killed her husband. Nor do I know a single human being that does. I've never talked to anyone who does. Talked to Candace. I've never heard her say that. Talked to a lot of these other podcasters. I've never heard anyone say that. No one who's ever been on this show has ever said that. I've never said that on this show. I don't know a single person who believes Erica killed Charlie. Not one. So what a weird thing to say. Why would you even bother saying that?
It's not weird. She claimed it.
That's a good question, Baron. Why would she bother saying that? It was just like an attack from every angle yesterday. And thankfully, the internet just instantly rebounded and hit her in the face. The ball just hit her right back in the face, boomeranged. so to speak. Thankfully, everyone clocked her on that. And then you had Andrew with this
Nobody clocked
ridiculous
her on that. What?
excuse.
You're
Has
just
he yet
lying.
released the full conversation? Wow. The full conversation, the context of that, mocking Ben Shapiro and Barry Weiss. This is when you said of his joke, of his private conversation about what you were going to say, leaning into what everyone was claiming. If you ask a single question, you think Erica killed her husband. Now, let me at first also state unequivocally that I do.
Let's see people clocking Erica Kirk on this. Well, we have Britta, we have It's Just Me, we have Deborah. I mean, look at this. Like, none of these people, well said truth. I stand with Erica Kirk. We love you, Erica. Okay. This is one of the biggest reasons Candace Owens are so hatefully jealous. Okay. When you think you're the boss, but the mic's been dropped long ago. Okay. Either way, it exposed. Okay, let's see. Let's see if people are clocking her. TPUSA is done. Erica sold her soul. Oh, okay. Here's a nice AI video. That's just awesome. Wow, they really clocked her there, huh? I stand with Erica Kirk every single time I've dealt with it. Okay. 100% psycho. Oh, yeah, they're checking her, aren't they? It's sad because they transferred their hate for Trump, Israel, and Charlie onto you. Okay. Wake up, guys. None of these people are from any of these organizations. Care for about us or what we want. Okay. Not checking. Please take your own advice and stop. Okay, not checking those claims at all. As a mom raising children, as someone who identifies as conservative, I am begging you, Erica, get off the air. Step away, be with your kids. Okay, does she say anything? Okay, so they're not checking her. Spot on, Erica. Okay, people agreeing. Erica, don't listen to the haters. People agreeing with her still. Another scripted speech. Hey, yo, Erica, why did you ask Charlie for wisdom every day while he was alive and not bother to listen to it or apply any of it? Okay, when do they check her, though? I haven't found one person saying that she never claimed this. Imagine if you cared about your kids. Okay, nobody's saying that. Side note, since you want to claim you went to the White House. Okay, so nothing about, again, nothing about it. You're absolutely right, Erica. The world stands with you. Yeah, nobody stop grifting, welfare queen. How about you do things for the love of the country? Okay, nobody has, quote unquote, ever once in this thread checked Erica on that statement. Look at this. None of them have sit here and said, look at this. Trump celebrated someone's death just months after your husband was assassinated in cold blood. The rhetoric from him is no different than the left. So what exactly did you accomplish by attending the event that your husband refused to attend? I mean, it's crazy, right? Erica, this is how you fight. No, Erica, the left-wing press helps you. I mean, not one person here yet is checking Erica Kirk. You mean like your friends were calling Charlie all this stuff, nobody was doing that. What? Like who? Fuentes, maybe? But what? I don't know. That's dumb. Yeah, you haven't been paying attention. No one is playing the left versus right games anymore. Okay. So where is she saying Candace, similar to Candace pretending Charlie was her friend? Yeah, exactly. Your little friend JD Vance, I guess, is part of the problem. Yeah. So let me see. How many times has Candace Owens claimed or insinuated, I misspelled that? Nope, I spelled it right. Insinuated that Erica Kirk had something to do with Charlie Kirk's murder. List everyone that you can find in order. Short and sweet bullet points. Okay. We'll just do that. We'll wait for this to cook, and then I'll bring it up.
I do not believe that Erica Kirk murdered her husband. I've never made that claim.
You did. You called her a Black Widow.
Sincerely, I've never made that claim. What I have said and what I stand by today is that her documented lies appear to me to be rising to a level of conspiracy and that she should be questioned, okay? Her lack of interest in exploring possible other options, instantly forgiving him. Was there an foreign influence? She doesn't care. Not only that, but her team is attacking Joe Kent for asking that question.
No, right? They're not.
Her lying about Dr. Lee Trotter's words. That is significant. You are never going to remove that from the story. Colluding with Andrew Colvett.
You have never once proven that he didn't say those words either.
On an absurd Man of Steel statement, and then flatly denying to my face that she did that.
Okay. You have never once proven that that surgeon did not say that.
Throwing Andrew Colvett and Dr. Lee Trotter under the bus, okay? That's not normal. You're never going to make that normal. Donors literally telling me that she is lying about the
Back the claim that you've talked to any donors.
audio clip that she presented at AmFest. The one that they now assert that they are never going to show us the video component.
There we go. All right. Now, while it says Candace Owens has never directly claimed in public that Erica Kirk murdered Charlie Kirk, she has repeatedly denied doing so and called one instance a joke. She has, however, insinuated or strongly questioned Erica Kirk's potential involvement role multiple times, at least 5 to 6 notable public instances, through her podcast, X-Posts, and Brad and Charlie series, primarily highlighting suspicious behavior, a possible false alibi, insider betrayal TPUSA, and odd post-assassination actions. These began months after September 10th, 2025. Okay, let's see. December 5th, 2025, questioned Erica, directing TPUSA's post-assassination livestream, and highlighted too many men in maroon at the shooting scene, implying possible insider involvement. That doesn't involve Erica, though. I asked for specifically Erica, but okay. January 22nd, 2026, X plus show shared alleged Zoom call audio of Erica addressing TPUSA employees days after the murder, calling her tone laughter. Okay, off-putting. That's not exactly what I asked for either. My foot is fixing to cramp. It is going to cramp. Okay. Oh, there we go. Got to stand up real quick. And there we go. Dang it. Hate it when that happens. I should not have moved my foot that way. Anyway, December 16th, 2025 through February 2026, post-meeting podcast. After a 4.5-hour talk with Erica, continuing to push conspiracy theories that Tyler Robinson wasn't the sole person and that Charlie was betrayed by people closest to him. Erica TPUSA insiders replied. So saying that Erica Kirk betrayed him is actually directly saying that she literally had something to do with his murder. But let's not forget about that. February 26th onward. Okay, Bride of Charlie launched and aired multi-part YouTube investigation to Erica's background past explicitly tied to conspiracies around Charlie's murder. I mean, that's just a fact. We have the Bride of Charlie to look for. Why did bother even going into it? You know what I mean? April 2nd, 2026, stated that her investigation proved Erica was not with her mother when Charlie was shot. So, false alibis. Private chat, screenshot, public, asking a message, first question, why'd you murder her husband? Okay. How about calling her a black widow or claiming that she should write a book about O.J. Simpson? Not about. Oh, I've reached my limit. Up yours. Really? Really? I'm gonna have to do it myself. That is so frustrating. Oh wait, I can do this. Huh. I'll teach you. Maybe. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see. What episode did Candace Owens call Erica a black widow? Oh, it's still not gonna let me do it now? Haha. Let's see. What? I've done this before and got around it. Candace Owens, call Erica Kirk a black widow. No, it's not going to let me do it. I'll just have to pull it up on my channel.
Opponent regarding
Dang it.
Charlie Kirk saying, Erica Kirk, I appoint my wife, Erica, to become the CEO.
Yep. Prove
Donor
it.
saying that actually never went down. He never said
Prove
that.
Prove the donor said that.
That is, it is plainly unacceptable that we have not yet received a response. They have not yet released the video to answer the claims being made by the donors that were in attendance. Release the video that you claim to have of Charlie naming you CEO. Don't be shy now, okay? People won't believe it. You took us into the casket. You had no concerns about what people believed or didn't believe. Now all of a sudden everyone's shy about a Charlie Kirk video. You're afraid people are going to think it's AI? Does that make sense to anybody? No, it doesn't.
You don't even have proof that there's a video that exists. You made that up.
Of course, doesn't make any sense. That's why they're angry. Now, on that note, though, okay, Andrew then shifting his feet immediately and pretending that little private correspondence where we mocked Barry Weiss's insinuations, that somehow.
Here it is. It's right here. We'll just kind of back up like twice.
If I did do it, we need to pivot. Some win. right? We got to take it where we can get it. This feels like a win. Like at long last, someone said it's not working and we need to pivot. And that's because we have kept up the pressure and we have clocked them on every single lie. I'm at the point right now, I want Erica to just drop a book like, If I Did Do It, like OJ did.
It's so disgusting. You're such a bad person. It's crazy, right? What episode was this, though? I wish I knew. Let's go to
the lies, and they have done has back that they have been hired somebody who is not Andrew Colvett.
Husband. And then, because this is one where she also sickening. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go right here and play this video because this is one where she also, again, accuses Erica Kirk. It's murdered her.
Are capable of. Men matter. Women understand. You will Vance best read on the situation. I think Erica is calculated. And I want to say to JD Vance, you better wake up fast, okay? That's a Black Widow, my friend. You will get bit. And you should probably consult your wife on this matter. Women understand the...
What do you think she meant by Black Widow? Let's see. Definition of calling a woman a Black Widow. A Black Widow primarily defines her as a dangerous, manipulative person who kills multiple partners or lovers, often for financial gain. You think Candace Owens just didn't know that? You guys think that may have been just an accident, an oopsie-whoopsie by Candace Owens there? You think that's what happened when she called Erica Kirk a Black Widow? Literally calling a female a Black Widow is literally saying that she killed her lover or her husband. True crime literal. Describing a woman who serial murders her husbands for life insurance or inheritance. Huh. Crazy. So, let's see here. I wonder if I got anything from Baron Coleman. I doubt it. Yeah, I didn't. At Baron Coleman. Is this the right Baron Coleman? If I watch me be attacking like some dude that's just a musician. He's like, what are you attacking me for? Baron Coleman. Here we go. Oh no, it's the retard. Okay, we got him. Hey, buddy. Did you a favor and got a definition. So when Candace Owens called Erica Kirk a Black Widow, do you think she was ignorant? Really genuinely curious. Oh, no, not on the desk. Oh, I don't want to tag him. I just want to put out here. Candace, what are you doing? You are forcing your face all the way through here. Hold on, buddy. We'll be going out. I know. It's almost time. We are like 20 minutes away from me throwing the ball to you outside, buddy. I promise we're going to do it. Oh, your dew claw just got me. Owie. Dang it. Whatever. Anyway, Candace Owens called Erica Kirk a Black Widow. Not window. Widow. Ah! Wonder what she meant. And let's put a little, we'll have fun. We'll put a thinky emoji here. Very curious what that means.
How accounted to me making a statement? No. Doesn't fly with me.
So,
like I said, release the entire chat. You have my full permission, and it must be met.
He can't release it. It's a screenshot. You can even see it here. You know better than this. I'm going to call you out on it right now. He can't release this because this is a screenshot. This down here is the text. This is the same thing as me sending a picture. Like this could have been Aubrey just sending a picture of herself going like that or something. Same thing, Candace. You know better than that.
With the sentencing. You guys agree? You agree. I must sentence him to more truth. Make an announcement.
I think Candace Owens should be deported.
Must sentence
That's what
Andrew and Erica to more
not
truth.
Just,
that is always...
Not just in prison. I think she should be deported.
Always the sentencing in this court. Now, what would be appropriate? What would be the appropriate level of truth to sentence you to? I got it, okay? Now, since what you are attempting to falsely insinuate is that I went into that conversation with Erica on December 15th already convinced of her guilt, which is patently...
What kind of a useless window would that be? He's so funny. Check out my black window. Yeah, you mean a wall? It's made of glass. Okay.
Untrue.
Yeah, he's so funny.
I am now going to prove to audiences just how untrue that insinuation is, okay? With the private revelation that I made to Erica Kirk, information that I gave her that I would not have given to her had I immediately suspected her of her guilt. I would have given her no information regarding this. And it was a private revelation made about you, Andrew Colvett. I don't know if they told you this. This is a really bad way to find out, but since you tried to surprise me yesterday, bam, surprise, surprise, shouty.
All right, let's get
as they say.
All right, surprise us.
You see, Angie, what I told Erica Kirk was that part of the reason why I suspected Turning Point USA and why I thought she should be looking into other people is because someone at Turning Point USA got a message out to me.
Oh, really?
And that message was that I need to look further into Andrew Colvett.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Turning Point USA people telling me to look further into Andrew Colvett. Was it Aubrey, as he tries to insinuate?
Maybe.
No.
Okay.
It was Mikey McCoy.
Oh, okay. So you mean the magnificent Mikey McCoy, the one that you've been trashing the whole time? Is he a double agent, actually, and has been working for you the whole time? Is that the case? Oh, let's hear this one. Maybe that's why you kept calling him the magnificent Mikey McCoy, is because you weren't actually being sarcastic? Let's hear this one. I'm interested.
Mikey McCoy got a message out to me via a third-party person that I should look more into Andrew Colvett. Why?
Oh my God, you are kidding. So you did not get a direct message from Mikey McCoy at all? Somebody else messaged you that could possibly just be like, I don't know, lying about it, sent it to you? Okay, I hope you have a good amount of proof that this person's connected to Mikey McCoy.
Why would he do that, Andrew? Why would Mikey McCoy say that I should look more into? When I did look into, things got very shady. And that's when I started going,
okay,
who the hell is Andrew Colvett, actually?
Show us.
He's obviously not a very good PR agent. Everybody can see that. He's a bit of a blubbering idiot.
Oh my God, every time you have an opportunity to show us any proof of anything you claim, you just talk crap and you move on. That's what's going to happen here. I have a gut feeling. Please show us text messages or something, Candace.
Colvett, what are his ties? What are his family ties here? And the more I looked, I did start to see more things. So as you pretend like we're all just conspiracy theorists and nobody had any good information, as you fire a bunch of employees, like I said, you still cannot produce the information that you are claiming that Aubrey Leitch gave to me that I share on this platform. You were my number one source, Andrew, in the beginning. You just forgot the things that you told me. And that's when I started realizing things were weird. And then I got Mikey McCoy telling me to look more into you.
No. You just said that it was a third-party guy that said that. Not Mikey McCoy, but you're putting it on his shoulders.
After watching this show, I would say that I had a damn good reason to suspect Turning Point USA.
Proof?
That they were complicit in a cover-up of what happened.
Oh, okay. Is TPUSA, is Erica Kirk involved in TPUSA at all? So, TPUSA is involved in a cover-up. As you say that, are you saying that Erica Kirk is being led by the nose by TPUSA? Are you saying that Erica Kirk is ignorant to everything TPUSA is doing? See, that's something that I could have believed, but for some reason you always stop short there. And you did an entire Who Was Erica Frantzvey, entire, 5-video series saying that Charlie Kirk didn't even know her and that she was in on it too and stuff. But no, I guess now maybe you're thinking Erica Kirk might be duped by TPUSA? Where are you going with this, and why can't you say?
Anyway, good luck, Andrew. I hope you're having a good day. Have fun.
Okay.
Drop more messages. Explain that one to the press cycle. I think that's going to catch a couple ahead.
Explain that one, as I don't bother to prove a damn thing that I have just said. Prove Mikey McCoy texted you about any of that. Prove Mikey McCoy said anything. Prove that a third-party dude is even connected to Mikey McCoy, which you have still yet to prove. This is wonderful, Candace. It's always talking crap and no proof behind what you say.
Lines.
Amazing.
Why would he say that? Switching gears, because
Switch gears.
It does appear that they are really just throwing everything at me, particularly yesterday.
No
I didn't
proof.
know which way to look. Happy birthday to me. Good thing I'm built for it. I'm just built differently. Erica didn't just name...
Yeah, you're built differently. You don't provide any proof to what you talk about whatsoever. Like, I would believe you if you just provide proof, Candace. I shouldn't have to sit here and keep begging for it.
Me and put a target on my back and lie about what I said. But she wasn't the only one, right? We also had congressmen in the House presenting a bipartisan resolution name-checking me.
Great, now they're half gay. Okay, maybe that joke fell flat. I'll keep going.
This is the headline in the Times of Israel. Headline on literally April 29th. I couldn't believe this. The U.S. House is considering a resolution condemning Hassan Piker. I've never spoken to that person in my entire life. And Candace Owens for...
Oh, you'd probably get along with him. He makes up a bunch of stuff, too. It'd be great. You guys could have a really fun, imaginative, festival together while you profusely shock a dog or something, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that helps you. Who knows?
Or... You got it, guys. Anti-Semitism. Who's bringing this forward?
Bro. Candace, you do know that Hassan Piker is actually, anti-Semitic. Not like the Candace Owens where we insinuate that she's anti-Semitic, kind of. I mean, Candace Owens is decently anti-Semitic, I would say. She's never on the nose with it. Hassan Piker hates Jews. Genuinely thinks Jews are bad. He wears it openly on his sleeve. Why are you defending Hassan Piker right now?
Okay, we've got Reps Mike Lauer and Josh Gottheimer. And it's a bipartisan bill to denounce anti-Semitic hate-filled rhetoric. Though far-left Piker says that the move is making anti-Semitism worse. That is our subheading here. The resolution begins by condemning anti-Semitic hate-filled rhetoric and content that is disseminated to prominent online personalities, blah, blah, blah. It tells us that whereas the rise of digital...
Oh, don't get me wrong. I believe Candace hates Jews. She just doesn't wear it on her sleeve like Hassan does. Hassan Piker goes way above and beyond, you know what I mean?
Media platforms has enabled individuals with large audiences to disseminate disinformation, commentary, and political viewpoints to millions of viewers worldwide. Such influence carries a heightened...
Yeah, Typhoon, Roman wall. Romans make kissable walls, you know?
Responsibility to avoid rhetoric that promotes hatred, violence, or discrimination against any group, including Jewish individuals and communities.
In all fairness, if you know a wall is still standing, it probably was built by the Romans. Those guys knew what they were doing when they built stuff.
On the same day, everyone is just suddenly signaling that speech is violence. Speech is now violence. They name
No. Insinuating violence is violence, Candace. Saying that, I don't know, kill Rick Scott, stuff like that. Yeah, it's violence. Sitting there saying that, somebody should assassinate Trump pretty much the way Jimmy Kimmel did. Yeah, it's violence. Saying that she's got an expectant glow of a widow. You think that's appropriate? You think it's appropriate to sit there and celebrate people getting assassination attempts on them? For real? That's not some sort of call to violence? A call to violence is not protected by the First Amendment, and it never has. Well, maybe it has been at some point. I'm not going to say that I know the entire history of the First Amendment. But a call to violence is considered a threat. Not only a threat, it's considered assault. A call to violence is considered assault, while battery is considered the action of assault. Okay? Assault is whenever you say you're going to do something to someone. Battery is when you do something to someone. I don't understand how you can't fathom this.
Mean says, whereas Candace Owens has employed rhetoric that has included conspiracy theories, accusing Israel of controlling the United States government. By the way, ironically, these two people, both of them who brought this forward, take more than $1 million from AIPAC. Government promoting false claims that Jews are taught by ancient religious texts to hate non-Jews and casting doubt on the truth of Holocaust survivors. I
think it is. This part's a little silly. Saying satanic PDFs who work for Israel, it's very possible that there's at least a couple of satanic PDFs who work for Israel. I mean, it's a government. I think most people in government probably genuinely are bad people, but there's also a lot of good people in government. I imagine Israel has a lot of really good people in government that genuinely try to make a difference, just like people in our government do. Just because Israel has a government, this is what's crazy too. Sometimes people will get a little upset, even with me, if I'm like, look, I don't know if Netanyahu's a good guy or not. He's a politician. He's probably a bad guy. just like every other politician out there. I don't trust politicians, but neither do you guys. And some people genuinely will get a little upset and go, how could you say that about him? And I'm like, look, I don't know the guy. I do know he's a politician. I generally don't trust politicians, period. Politicians in every single way, shape, and form are usually just bad. But don't get me wrong, there are a lot of good politicians out there. At least I'd like to believe there are. Maybe there aren't good politicians out there. I guess I don't know. But at the end of the day, most politicians are bad, and I imagine that that's probably the same for Israel as well. It's nothing groundbreaking.
It goes on and on. Of course, I can't defend myself. They can just put whatever they want. It's a resolution. She made the anti-Semitic claim that the United States is controlled by satanic pedophiles who work for Israel.
Now, making that, okay, I guess the quotes were wrong. Making an anti-Semitic claim that the United States is controlled by, and they should have probably quoted the United States is controlled by as well. I don't know why they only quoted this mark, because she did say that the United States is controlled by people who work for Israel. Now, that's different. I guess I didn't see that. I only read the quotation. But yeah, saying the United States is completely controlled by these people, I mean, I guess it's possible, but do they work for Israel? There's no proof of that. I think that maybe parts of the U.S. government are definitely controlled by satanic PDFs, but are they for Israel? Are they just for the left? Are they for Qatar? I mean, look, we could speculate. Maybe they're not. Maybe every satanic PDF in the U.S. is controlled by Ukraine. I actually don't know, but I know that they exist. I just don't know where. And see, that's your problem, is you make generalizations and say, oh, they're definitely from Israel. And I can understand people saying that Candace is literally anti-Semitic for that, because she makes a claim without any proof specifically about Israel, and that's kind of nuts to do, right? That's kind of nuts to do. I'd say the same thing if it's like, oh, our entire government is controlled by Qatar. Yeah, maybe that, well, I guess I wouldn't call that anti-Islam, because that's only one country. I guess Israel is the only place for Jews, though. And there's like 30 countries from Islam, so that's why they kind of get away with not being called anti-Islamic. You know what I mean? That makes sense. I don't know. I guess it does make a difference in that kind of context.
That's not an anti-Semitic claim, okay? Satanic pedophiles working for Israel. We're talking about Epstein and everyone who has defended the Epstein class, okay? That is not explicitly Jewish. In fact, I have been name-checked.
You don't ever talk about the left, though, when they're involved with Epstein, when Epstein literally says that he is trying to turn people into trans slaves. Do you not remember that specific statement in the Epstein files? Maybe you didn't even read that part.
Checking Christian Zionist pastor after Christian Zionist.
Oh, one thing that Epstein does claim, though, is that the Bullington Club is one of his satanic cults that literally helps control the United Kingdom. Who was the leader of the Bullington Club again? Oh, yeah, George Farmer, your husband. And also his father.
Pastor. Crazy. So do not put this on, this means you're talking about all Jews, okay? When Donald Trump said, what, are we still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? That is when he lost me entirely. To my knowledge.
Only that? Okay.
President Trump is not Jewish.
Okay.
That pedophilia is satanic.
Okay, whatever.
That a satanic pedophile, like Jeffrey Zionist Epstein, worked for Israel. These are...
And you do say Jews.
This is abundantly true. This is not a conspiracy. The fact that you are passing a resolution about me and not the people that protect Jeffrey Epstein says more about you. It then goes on and says that I repeated false claims that Jews are killing Christian children. Where did I say this? Where did I say that Jews are killing Christian children?
Actually, quite often you've said that. You've absolutely said that. Lori Stoltz. Keep up the great work. You sound so much better. Have your energy back. I do got my energy back now. I slept a good majority of the day, and I feel great now. And as the day goes on, like, I've stood up a couple of times and kind of felt a little bit of malaise, but right now, sitting down, I feel awesome. Thank you so, so much for that, Lori. I really appreciate that.
Where did I say that?
That's very nice of you.
Nope, doesn't matter. You can just say whatever you want. It's Congress. This is like filing a lawsuit. You can just put things in there. I don't have to respond to it. This is going to be a part of record. This is going to be a part of U.S. history record as they bring this forth, and I have no opportunity to defend myself or to respond to.
If I could get Grok to work again, I'd find out every time she's accidentally said Jews instead of Zionist. We know she technically meant Zionist, but I mean, come on. Floridian slip much? Freudian slip much? Wow, I actually said Floridian slip, and I make fun of people for saying that. Freudian slip much, Candace?
Any of these points. Beyond that, they then bring up Never, ever forget that in July 2024, I did not mention Joseph Mengele. And then they erupted by saying that because I said there was bizarre propaganda that followed the Holocaust, which is true. It is objectively true. Okay. I'm going to show you that's objectively true. They insert this in here. Never forget that never forgot was appropriate to say there, that even the Auschwitz-Birkenau.
So she literally says, where in July 2024, Candace Owens called the horrific medical experiments committed by Joseph Mengele on Jews during the Holocaust bizarre propaganda. That's not bizarre propaganda. Joseph Mengele, literally, that's where John Money got all of his ideas from to literally experiment on kids and make them trans in 1955. Joseph Mengele, all of his, obviously, he stopped doing his stuff in 1945. When he was experimenting on Jewish kids and, injecting bleach into their eyeballs to try and turn them, blue and whatnot, and also trying to transition their gender. Yeah, that guy did that. And he managed to get all of his teachings over to at least John Money over here in the United States. So what do you mean that's bizarre propaganda? That's exactly what happened. And you know who helped kind of aid all that stuff too? And is very interested in those studies? Jeffrey Epstein.
Museum, which has a podcast, asserted that there were lies told about Joseph Mengele. Not me asserting that. Mengele. They did an official Holocaust memorial podcast. Is that how you pronounce
it? Mengele, or is it Mengele?
Where they discussed where some of the lies and exaggerations came from.
Really?
It's not a threat to Jewish people to acknowledge that some people lie. Okay? That some people misunderstand. I'm going to play it for you. This is the official Holocaust Memorial podcast discussing Joseph Mengele. Just so you can just read what they are writing and then hear, unless, I don't know, is Auschwitz Memorial podcast anti-Semitic? I don't know, but take a listen.
Said that last time, Mengele?
I want to note that many myths arose around Mengele in the camp, such as the alleged sewing together of twins, which did not happen. Simply because Mengele saw himself as a scientist, a theoretician, a man conducting research. Sewing twins together, as Vera Alexander mentioned, wouldn't make sense from a medical point of view because Mengele had sufficient medical knowledge, and the medical understanding of the time allowed him to know that it would lead nowhere. So where did this legend come from? It likely originated from the fact that Mengele performed transfusions on twins without prior cross-matching tests. This meant if the donor's blood didn't match the recipient's, it led to death. To perform a transfusion, people had to be connected, not...
Don't all identical twins have the same blood type, though? Right? Or is he just talking about twins in general?
Sewn together, but connected with needles and tubes so that the blood could flow. Therefore, this legend about Mengele as someone who sewed children together probably came from this.
Okay, that just sounds like a misunderstanding. It doesn't sound like he actually was tying them together still. So when people are probably, especially from German to English, saying, oh, he connected them, probably people in English were like, oh, he sewed them together, whenever they're like, no, he connected, like, all of their vitals together.
I want to be clear why this is important to you guys. And specifically, I want to speak to Jewish Americans because it is just so reminiscent to me.
But that's still not bizarre propaganda because he still did like inject bleach into people's eyes and stuff. He still did definitely do things like trying to transition people from male to female. So I don't understand why you're saying it's bizarre propaganda. Of all things, sewing twins together, you think that's the worst of it? I don't think that even comes close. What are you talking about? I'm way more horrified about him trying to transition people back then. And also injecting stuff into people's eyes to change their color and stuff like that. That's a lot worse, in my opinion, than trying to sew twins together, I guess you could say. I mean, it's kind of in the same vein. I guess it's not necessarily worse or not worse. It's all the same sickness. Just because some of the sickness wasn't quite true doesn't make him any better.
Of how they wanted to pass hate speech laws in the fog of George Floyd, and they were using race and black people to try to do this. This is the threat to all of us. Jewish Americans, pay attention because they are using you to push through tyranny, okay? You are now the person they are using to push through tyranny. They think that you are too stupid to understand the difference between anti-Semitism, normal commentary, and debate. Also, by the way, there is an underlying assumption that you're too weak to deal with people who don't like you, Who cares if people don't like me because I'm black? I don't actually care. I don't care if that.
Yeah, you do. You bring it up all the time. Oh, you said this because I'm black, Trump, huh? Because it says that I use white men. What did you mean by that? Is it because I'm black? Even though nobody ever brought up your race whatsoever. So I think you care a little bit, Candace. I think you care just a weensy bit, or you wouldn't have said that.
That is your underlying thought process that every time you see a black person, you're like, I hate that N-word. I hate N-words all the time. How's that going to impact my day?
How about outwards?
Why do we care so much about what other people think about us? It's not a little ridiculous. There's just this underlying weakness that allows people who are actually tyrannical, people who are actually doing despicable things, people who actually...
Yeah, I don't think there should be anti-Semitic laws. Don't get me wrong. I think it should be way more enforced when somebody makes a threat, period. I think if you make a threat, say kill these people, end these people, something like that, I think you could probably get in trouble. It's just that simple.
Support the Epstein files.
And that's what Hassan Piker does, by the way.
They want to protect that network of human traffickers. Okay? They pretend they're the good guys. They find people who are weak, can't take being called names. You can do it. Black people, you can do it. Jews, you can do it. Spanish people, you can do it. Asian people, you can do it. You can handle being called a name as long as you get to remain free. That's more.
But you can't, Candace.
More important. Okay? They are trying to flip that on its head so they can usher in tyranny. They want Europe. They want what's already happening in Florida. Police showing up on your door, asking you if you sent a tweet. Did you criticize Candace Owens today? She's black. Did you know she's black? It's racist. I get called the N-word every second of every day. Go on X. I don't care. Doesn't impact my day. I don't know who these people are on the internet.
In all fairness, I also get called the N-word every day, and I'm not black, and that's hilarious. People do that to me all the time on X and in my email. It's completely pointless.
I don't feel threatened by that. Okay? You have a right to think racist thoughts. Now, I happen to genuinely not be a racist.
I don't believe
but
that.
If people were racist, I understand the importance of making sure that we don't pass speech laws. And that is what is coming next because they have been signaling it for a week straight, full fire. Not just Erica Kirk, also Caroline Leavitt came out and now is trying to equate speech to violence. Take a listen.
This political violence stems from a systemic demonization of him and his supporters by commentators, yes, by elected members of the Democrat Party, and even some in the media. The deranged lies and smears against the president, his family, his supporters have led crazy people to believe crazy things. Everyone who has a voice and a platform across this country, whether you're on television, a podcast host, people listen. And when you have mentally disturbed individuals across the country who are listening to this crazed rhetoric about the president day after day after day, it inspires them to do crazy things.
Laura Loomer is his top advisor.
You do know that Hassan Piker said kill Rick Scott, right? You do realize that's exactly what she's talking about, right? You do realize that whenever Jimmy Kimmel comes out and he's saying literally like, oh, Trump's wife's going to be an expectant widow. She's got the glow of an expectant widow. You do realize that that's like a call for violence, right? Like, you're not even mentioning any of that stuff, Candace.
Like, it's so crazy that they really come out here and they say this unflinchingly after the things that come out of Trump's Truth Social posts. Who is smearing and calling people names and dehumanizing people more, posting photos of me when I'm sick.
He didn't change anything about your photo, so he showed a nasty picture of you. Boo-hoo?
Donald Trump. Does that now mean that if an act of violence happens, every threat that happens, I get to now say that this is Trump's fault?
No, but whenever somebody says kill Rick Scott, you could probably blame the guy. Just putting it out there. When people are saying, like, making fun of Trump's assassination attempts, what if we constantly made fun of you for getting, like, a bullet whizzes past you from some, like, I don't know, maybe it's like a tiny little baguette, you know what I mean, or something like that, or a croissant flies past your head. You think that we're going to literally sit there and make fun of you for it? And you think that would be okay? Oh, the person missed. Oh, boo-hoo. You think that's okay to say? Really? Okay, Candace, I guess free speech, encouraging people to go and assassinate people is just free speech, according to Candace Owens.
And again, like I said, it's being echoed everywhere. Melania Trump, she tweeted and said this about Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel's joke that happened before the shooting. That it was hateful.
Yeah, because Trump has not had any assassins come after him before.
Hateful and violent rhetoric intended to divide our country. Meanwhile, Caroline Levitt is talking left versus right. Is that not divisive? His monologue about my family is not comedy. His words are corrosive.
Candace still wants to give the left a chance, even though they're shooting at Republicans. Okay.
And deep
a leftist literally shot Charlie Kirk. But no, let's be friends with them.
It's the political sickness within America. Does she know who she's married to? Maybe she doesn't. She might not know. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. This is laying the ground, ladies.
Oh, no. This is like Trump's 8th assassination attempt. So Trump had 3 assassination attempts in right before his second term, but he also had 4 assassination attempts in his first term. So yeah, there's been a lot of assassination attempts on Trump. Trump is probably the president who has had more attempted assassinations on him than any other president in the United States.
And gentlemen, for speech laws, they shouldn't have the opportunity. She's pretending it's about Jimmy Kimmel. You start with Jimmy Kimmel. If we don't defend Jimmy Kimmel, which makes me physically sick, I don't want to defend Jimmy Kimmel, but I know how it goes. You start outward, you pretend it's legitimate. Trump survived, it's assassination. We have to quick in the chaos. We have to just get these speech laws passed. And then they come inward. And they come inward. And they come inward. And then it's like grandma tweeted
she's saying inward again.
That this person was ugly. And suddenly you've got people knocking on your door. We can't have that. You know who was very opposed to that? Charlie Kirk was. I tweeted this, and I'm glad to see that it's trending. Here is his tweet about alleged hate speech, hateful rhetoric.
Let's see this real quick. So I typed in what president has the most assassination attempts. This is a bit of a tricky question because an assassination attempt can be defined in a few different ways, of course, but Gerald Ford, most documented close-range attempts, he only had 2. Donald Trump, high count of major incidents. As of early 2026, Trump has faced at least 3 major assassination attempts. But yeah, there was 2 at his own golf course, though. There was the guy that showed up at the golf course. Actually, there's a 5th one. Remember the guy that showed up at the golf course not that long ago with the gas can? Trump, Mar-a-Lago gas can. And they took care of that guy. On February 22nd, 2026, law enforcement shot and killed a 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina after he breached the north gate of Mar-a-Lago carrying a shotgun and a gas can. This just happened. So there have been 5 attempts, literally, in this past year. In this past year, well, not quite past year. I'll say from 2024 to 2026, there have been 5 attempts on Trump's life. 5 attempts. There were 4 in his first term. So there have been 9 attempts on Trump's life during his entire time of presidency, let alone however many times may have taken place when Biden was president against Trump. I don't even know how many that is. So at the end of the day, Donald Trump literally has more attempts on his life than any other president in history. Domestically.
Said another way. He wrote on May 2nd, 2024, hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, and all of it is protected by the First Amendment. Keep America free.
You know very well, Charlie Kirk did not ever defend somebody's free speech to say, kill Rick Scott. In fact, I bet Charlie Kirk may have said something about that. Let's find out.
That was his voice. I echo that sentiment. Charlie laughed at people when they made jokes of him, notoriously laughed. When South Park dedicated an entire episode referring to him as the master debater, he cared deeply about allowing people to critique him, allowing people to come and debate him, and winning those debates. And if he lost those debates, which I think never happened, he knew that that meant that he didn't have the stronger argument. So yeah, I agree. Keep America free. We'll be right back after a brief break.
Let's see here.
All right, you guys, have you ever tried keeping up with crypto? It moves all the time, midnight, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. The market never sleeps. And if you are like most people, you probably do. Here's the problem. Most crypto platforms just give you an account and say good luck, but that's not really investing. That's guessing. That's why I want to tell you about Block Trust IRA, which is a crypto.
Let's see. I'm going to type in Charlie Kirk kill Rick Scott. See if anything comes up. 1 a.m., 48 hours. Let's see. Nope. Talking about Charlie Kirk's murder. Let's see here. That's all we need to end all in. Okay. Nope. That's about that. Okay. Maybe he didn't mention anything about Rick Scott. I'll have to see.
IRA that's designed their folio or crypto reset more logical nesting to into doing this. Why do they want to come for our speech? Because they view us, independent media, people that have kept the Epstein story alive, people that said, we're not accepting the Fed slop narrative regarding Charlie Kirk. He's trending every day on Twitter. We are almost 8 months into this thing, and Charlie Kirk is still trending on Twitter, and they wanted this to go away. At the moment that Erica said, I forgive him, they wanted us to forgive him and move on, referring to Tyler Robinson. We, to them, are the storied barbarians at the gate. How do we control this? We have built ourselves a mini empire. We control the media apparatus. We control the schools. And now we've got people pulling their kids out of school, talking about homeschooling, understanding how we lie for the first time, not looking left or right, but looking up and down, realizing how despicable these people are. That, yes, of course, we are morally above them, not falling for their tricks about racism, sexism, anti-Semitism, locking arms, and realizing we actually don't hate each other. What we hate is this corruption. And it exists on the left, on the right, all across the Western Hemisphere. There is nothing but corruption. And America might be the last stand for freedom in the West. If they get what they want and they begin passing speech laws, it's over. I mean that. So wake up, understand what's happening, reject it, right? Use your platform if you have one to speak out against it. Write to your congressman, if the rare ones that perhaps are not bought and paid for. And if you have an opportunity to subpoena people for truth, maybe take it.
He didn't talk about Piker much
Maybe
at all.
take it. How many more lawsuits
it was scheduled
can
to
these
debate
people
him,
possibly throw at me? A surprise lawsuit, just never been done. Maybe it has. I mean, never been done in my life, I should say. Anyway, let's get to the top comment from last episode. We have Wednesday Coffee writes, the fact that they gave you the most vile person of the year, but not Epstein.
Alrighty. I'm not going to do the comments today. I am going to probably have to get off here, but I do want to get you all over to Paramount Tactical. For sure. Why does he never come up when I type it in? That's so weird. Alrighty, we're going to raid his show. Let's raid.
That's the truth.
We're going to have a raid.
That's how baffling and opaque his history is.
Look at this man. He makes such a good show. And we all have to come over here. I am going to send you all over to Paramount Tactical right now. We're pinning this message in there. Y'all click that link. Go over there if you have not subscribed to him. I bet everybody here is subscribed to Gary. Push a 1 in chat if you are not subscribed to Paramount Tactical. Put a 2 in chat if you are. I just want to see how many of you all are. Let's get on in here. Let's go right on into the chat. Right here. I'll pull the chat over here so y'all can see it better. There we go. And I'll pull myself over here too. That way we can have some fun here, right? I'm going to put his sound on, so. There we go.
Of Harpel. Without even a modicum of substantiated evidence. She has publicly accused Harpel and Integrity Solutions of foreknowledge, participation in the cover-up of assassination of Charlie Kirk, as well as professional unfitness and criminal negligence. Despite Owens admitting that she had viewed Harpel...
Let's get in here. Everyone should be subscribed to him, but if you're not, please go subscribe to Paramount Tactical. He does such good work. Give him a like, too. Give him a like.
Furthermore, without any evidence that Harpel acted negligently or
alrighty. All right. I want everyone here to click on that link and end up in his chat. And, yeah. Let's jump on in. Raid the crap out of him. And enjoy his show. Because he's going to break down everything. Hey, thank you so much, Colleen. Thank you, guys. You all are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you all so much. Snow Bunny, go subscribe to him. I promise you'll love his show. The red herring logical fallacy, exactly. Yeah, Candace does that well. Ooh. Heck yeah. Oh, you guys are awesome. Already sent you. Awesome. I'm glad people are going here. Party raid.
Beginning in October 2025.
You guys are freaking awesome. Thank y'all for doing this. He deserves so much. I mean, he's got a heck of a following. He needs to be at 300,000 subscribers like yesterday. Genuinely, I don't know how.
Cover up of Charlie Kirk's assassination.
I don't know how he's not at 300,000 yet. That's crazy to me. The show is so unbelievably good. Maria, definitely please go over there and subscribe to the guy. Gary does such good work. I cannot express it enough. Alrighty, guys. Woo! There we go. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to hop off here. You guys go run on over to the stream, and I'll see you guys here in the next one. Oop. We'll get this, actually. Make sure that that's all good. Alrighty, guys. We'll see you here. I'll be live streaming tomorrow. So, after I get off a long, grueling day of work. If I don't look right and I'm dead tired, don't blame me. I had to work all day tomorrow. I almost said yesterday. That's where I'm at right now. And this boy wants me to throw his ball like now. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Later.